Hey everybody, welcome to episode 61 of the Unity Gaming Podcast. It is April 17th, and I'm Somppi.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Kumar.
And unfortunately, we've got Riccio sitting out this one. He is on the couch, dying, coughing, as you can see in that side of the corner if you're looking at the video chat.
You're
if
pointing
not,
past my head. It's right.
Yes,
it's right
past
It's
his head.
right here.
If you guys are listening to the audio version, you will probably hear a slight Riccio cue. You'll hear that probably.
Is he wearing a Snuggie?
No, he's wearing
Just a blanket.
big old blanket.
Okay.
So I guess we'll start.
And if anything is fucked on this podcast, it's because I assisted in setting up, and I'm not as good at setting stuff up.
and I
as
just
Riccio is.
I just played Hitman, so I have no hand.
Yeah,
in
you
this.
have no idea what's going on right now.
No. So I guess we'll kind of get started off with what you have.
We can go whatever fucking order we
can
want.
do
Riccio's
what
not here.
we want. We can really do what we want now. Has anybody been watching anything decent on Netflix?
I've watched all of Parks and Recreation.
Really? Do you find that to be good, or is it filled with awkward moments? Because I
think it's the Office is. It has the same feel as The Office because
then
it's
I
like
won't.
mockumentary.
Okay.
But it's not like awkward.
Okay,
at
because
all.
I don't like awkward comedies like The Office and stuff. But one that I've recently really enjoyed has been Arrested Development.
Well, Arrested Development is
How is that?
one of the best shows ever.
Everybody who I've spoken to has always had good things to say about it.
On-
because
Honestly,
there is nothing bad to say about
No,
it.
it is
Okay.
honestly phenomenal. I thought it was filled with a lot of awkward moments because the one that I saw was actually had awkward moments in it, but the actual comedy in it and the writing is phenomenal. And I think a lot of the writers for that went over to Archer.
Did they?
Yeah, I think so. When Arrested,
Well, there's going to be more Arrested Development in like a month.
yeah, they're
So
doing a
it's
movie and a
no. It's just a Netflix.
it's just a
episodes.
Netflix episode.
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to say there's 13, 14, 15 of them or something, and they're just going to put them. They're just going to dump them all out on like May 26th or something like that.
That's awesome.
I know. I'm excited.
That makes me super happy about that, actually, because that is a very good. It's if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend.
It's on everything Netflix. So.
Yeah, it's on Canadian and American.
Yeah, that's a good
What
show.
else is
Nice
there?
to finally see that a good show is on the Canadian Netflix.
Yeah, it's not just terrible things.
There's good shows on the Canadian Netflix.
Now
like
there is. It's taken them so long to finally get to it, though.
Riccio says Skins.
It's a terrible show.
I haven't watched that. He said nothing else.
So what have you guys been playing this week?
I 100%ed and am very close to getting a platinum on Guacamelee.
Okay, cool. And
So-
how are you finding it?
Can you describe that to me because I don't really know what that
It is a Metroidvania combat platformer. That
Okay. Yeah, that no.
did
no,
that sum everything up perfectly?
That summed it
With
up
flawless explanation.
perfectly, actually. So
Yeah, there's big emphasis on the combat, and all of the combat abilities that you unlock will they're all have to do with traversal and opening up different areas and stuff. I think I talked about this last week, where it goes so far as you get an uppercut that shoots out red flames
Really?
when you do it, and so you break red blocks with that, and you get a headbutt that shoots out a yellow shockwave when you use it, so that breaks yellow blocks, and you get a punch that shoots out blue shockwaves, so that breaks blue blocks. So that you also get a ground slam and some other cooler traversal stuff that I won't spoil. But yeah, it's
sounds pretty neat, actually.
it's a really distilled platformer. It's not that long either, but there's some really hardcore platforming sections in that game.
Are they
Some-
just difficult to nail down, or?
They are like Super Meat Boy level difficult.
Oh, really? Like, just punishing?
end of Super Meat Boy level difficult.
That's harsh.
Because they are like the final one that I had to do, the final platforming thing is it's like 6 or 7 sections. Oh, maybe not that long, maybe 5. But you kind of get a break because there's a platform to fall down to if you mess up.
Oh, okay.
But you're still kind of on limited time, because normally when you mess up the platforming in that game, you fall into like a pit of lava or acid or something, and then you'll just warp back up to the last platform you were standing on. It doesn't cost you any health, nothing like that. The area the secret area has it so that every time you fuck up, you will get hurt just a little bit. So you have a ton of tries, but you're still on this like, oh, I got to get this done. So when I finally completed that, I was in like, you could barely see my health bar, and I just like stood up and cheered for myself because it was really tough. Yeah, it's using all your abilities and like combining them all together, and it's just, oh
It's
god,
complicated.
it's so crazy.
You're enjoying it though.
Well, I finished it.
Okay.
I have 2 trophies left in that game.
You
I
mentioned
have complete the game on hard mode, and there's a bronze trophy for chain all 6 combat moves together without touching the ground, and that is tough as hell. It's not even like you can just go and do them. You have to like connect them to an enemy, which is tough because one of them is they're all easy to hit, and you obviously end with the ground slam because you hit the ground after using that one. But the tough one that you have to kind of, that dictates who you can do the combo on. You also can't kill the guy in between these because then you have nothing to hit. So you kind of have to find an enemy with enough health or with a certain shield on them. And you have to start with there's a wall run one which doesn't have that much of a hit radius on it. So that's pretty tough.
It does sound pretty tough.
Yeah.
All in all, though, it's an enjoyable game.
Absolutely. I got it for $12 when it was on sale for PlayStation Plus. It's gone back up to $15 now. It was on sale for an extra day because Sony couldn't get their shit together and update the PlayStation Store on time. But
Sounds about right for Sony.
just before we started this, they updated it, so I am currently downloading the Soul Sacrifice demo to my Vita.
Okay.
My Vita is getting the most play out of any of my video game
your
consoles today. Yeah.
Sweet.
I don't know, Kumar, have you tried that Labyrinth Legends game that went free on PlayStation Plus?
Not.
Okay, that's fine, because don't waste your time.
PSN title, right?
Yeah, but don't waste your time.
Okay, it's garbage?
It's just, I wouldn't say it's garbage, it's boring.
Okay. It looks really, I mean, I watched the trailer, it looks kind of childish. I'm sure it could be fun in its own right, but...
Well, maybe there is
reminds me of
fun
stuff that I
deep
played
baried
when I
in
was a
there,
kid,
but I
so-
tried playing like
Deep
the first...
buried in this game.
Yeah, but I tried
might
playing
be
the
fun.
first couple of levels, but it's just boring. I couldn't sit through it.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, that's that.
That's pretty much all I've played. It was a lot of time. I only just finished up 100% in Guacamelee on Monday, and I've been playing it pretty much since it came out last Tuesday.
Wow.
Have you played it all on the actual PS3, or have you been only playing it on your?
I played
Vita?
it entirely on my Vita.
Yep.
The one thing I did try was, I think it was right before the podcast last week, was I tried doing the Wii U mode,
Yep.
where you do remote play with your Vita. It requires some trickiness because you can have a second player drop in and play with you at any point in the campaign, and they become a copy of like whatever collectibles and stuff you found. So that's pretty cool. But you have to like go through some weird processes of disconnecting the controller and then remote playing, and then you can get the first player controller being used as the Vita.
That's weird.
It's a weird process, but it does work. And like the map updates like real time. Like as you were moving around on the screen on the PS3, it is moving the little like luchador icon along on the map. So it's perfect, no lag. And it is kind of cool to do that, but I just figured I'd just play the whole thing on my Vita anyways. Now that one of the trophies I have left is complete the game on hard mode, I am playing on the PS3 to do that one. Because
And you're finding that they both play equally well?
I find that on the PS3 I use the D-pad for movement, whereas on the Vita I was using the analog stick.
Okay.
I'm not sure why that is. It just
Is
feels
one easier though?
right.
Like, is one more responsive or?
Well, I've always found the sticks on the PlayStation 3 controllers to be a little bit swimmy.
Okay.
Yes.
Riccio really likes those controllers. Shut up. Riccio's yelling. Ignore it at podcast listeners. Just don't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't take into account anything Riccio says.
But the sticks on the Vita are... I don't know what it is. It just felt right to play it with the analog stick on the Vita.
they have a
the
they have a
D-pad
different
on the
they
PS3.
definitely have a different texture, like a different feel to them.
Yeah.
So
I couldn't exactly tell you why. I don't like the sticks on the PS3, but I figured I would be playing it with the D-pad on the Vita as well, but I haven't. So
Yeah. Cool.
it is a very good game, and it took me 10 hours to 100% it, not counting hard mode. So, because it gives you a game timer at the end when you beat the final boss. So.
Oh, really?
What else
Yeah.
do you do? Like, in terms of you saying that you've gone back and you've completed everything, is it just a matter of collectibles and some other stuff? Or?
Well, there is pretty much all the collectibles are in the form of chests that you punch open. So there's either money in those, heart pieces, or stamina. Well, they're called heart chunks and stamina chunks. And you need 3 of either one to get the next, get extra health or get an extra stamina bar. The stamina bars are used up when you do your special moves, so the uppercut and the ground slam and stuff. So there's also a shop, which is all the save points in that game, where you can buy heart and stamina chunks, up to 3 of each. Plus, whenever you pick up health orbs, you get more health. Your stamina recharges faster, standard improvements like that. You can also pick up a few special moves for when you do grabs in that game. So you pretty much have to go around finding all the chests. You eventually have enough money from just fighting the random enemies that are still around. Because for the most part, enemies don't respawn. A majority of the combat in that game is in sealed arenas where you have to beat everyone in this area to continue. And those arenas don't respawn once you've beat them once.
Okay. So once you've gone through, it's just done, kind of thing.
Yeah. So the only enemies that are still left around are just the roaming enemies. So it's usually just 2 or 3 skeletons running around. They aren't hard to beat, but they do still give you money every time you beat them. So so it's just pretty much going back collecting all the chests. There is a secret collectible that is hidden in all the secret areas, which I won't tell you what it is, but I got all those as well. But that's where the hard parts of the game come in. Yeah.
Jeez.
But yeah, 9 hours and 56 minutes to 100% that game.
Wow.
And get every trophy except the connect all attacks and the hard mode related ones.
And you had fun doing it, right?
Absolutely. That game's amazing. I cannot recommend it enough.
Cool. You're going to go back and play it after you've beaten it on hard? Do you think you'll go back?
Maybe eventually. The problem is that when I get 100% saves in games like that, I don't like deleting them.
Yeah.
So maybe after I've totally completed hard mode and I can just back up my my 100% save to the cloud, maybe I'll go back to it eventually. But there's other stuff actually coming out for the Vita, so I might move on. But it was it's been a good week.
Nice.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Good stuff. What about you, Sompy? What have you been playing?
Honestly, I've been addicted to Civ 5 pretty intensely recently. It's I don't know. It's one of those ones that I never thought I would really enjoy it until I actually started messing around with it. But
you played a lot of 4, right?
Yeah, I played. I probably put maybe 25, 30 hours into 4.
That's not actually that much compared to people who get addicted to Civ.
Yeah. But those are I probably put more than that now that I think about it. But it's not bad. I've actually really started to enjoy it. But there's some things in Civ 5 that I liked in Civ 4 that they took out. One of them is certain units. They added the fact that cities can now defend themselves without having any units garrisoned in it. So you can actually just, have a full city undefended, and it can defend itself just through using it's like a long range attack. Which I don't mind. I think it's a good choice, but sometimes it can be pretty annoying because you'll walk near somebody's city and you're not even at war with them, and they'll randomly start fucking you up. So there have been a couple of times that the Japanese have just messed me up real good for no particular reason. So it's not bad.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know what that says about me. But they added these things called city states into Civ 5, and what they are they're like little civilizations that have their purpose is not to win the game. They're just there to be trading posts, and you can conquer them, or
they have no affiliation.
Yeah, they have no affiliation. But the more you help them out, or the more other people help them out, the more they will come to respect you and trade you. And I ended up saving in one of my matches. I ended up saving a city state from barbarians, which randomly spawn throughout the whole level and map, and the actual state gave me 17 different units or something obscene like that, and it was at the beginning of the game, so I just became a massive powerhouse. And
Worked in your favor, right?
I kind of conquered the world that way. So it was me in this single civilized, like little city state that conquered the world. So it's pretty fun. You always hear those stories of Gandhi being a terror. Like as soon as nukes are into the game, it will actually he'll nuke you. That's totally the case. That is honestly what happens. So I was trying to keep nukes off the table for the longest time. Gandhi was really enjoying my company and was a good trading alloy. And then the second nukes came onto the table, he's like, nuked. I was like, what? Gandhi, you dick. Like, it was pretty funny. So it's good. I'm really enjoying that. And right now I've got a pretty decent taste of Hitman Absolution, which I'm playing.
It looks like you just started.
Yeah.
Although you're farther than I've been.
Yes, I'm right now currently hiding in a pot field inside a warehouse.
Like one normally does in these games.
Yeah,
games in 2012 did that, huh?
Just hanging out in a pot field, dressed as a police officer. Nothing to see here.
Nice.
Yeah, no, but I'm.
I believe you were in the part that Riccio described as the worst part of that entire game.
I can honestly, yeah. This is.
I missed it, but I think he just gave a thumbs up.
This is a pretty terrible part of this game, to be honest with you. Though I'm not gonna lie to you, I really don't like the whole like grading my score thing. That was the issue that Riccio had a lot with it. Was the fact that it constantly tells you that you are doing terribly when you get spotted, or if you accidentally shoot somebody in the head.
Are there options to turn all that off though, or
not that I'm aware of, to be honest with you. All I've really seen is just the score keeps going down.
Yeah, you just got to keep not looking at it. Although there is a certain... it feels good to just walk through a stealth game fucking shooting everyone. And
and that's kind of how I've been playing it right now.
I'm not being held down by your system stealth game.
Pretty much how it's been going for me. I find that I'm trying to pull off the most like crazy kills that I can find. Kind of like what I ended up doing in Dishonored. About halfway through the game, I got kind of bored with some of the mechanics. So I just decided to really, I don't know, amp it up, I guess, by doing the craziest, most insane kills. So my weapon of choice recently has been a screwdriver. So you can throw a screwdriver at people across the map, and he kind of like flips the knife and then whips it at someone. So I think I've tallied up to 37 kills with a screwdriver in one map. So it's been pretty good, but it definitely I never want to cast how I play games like this, because I just have this sneaking suspicion that anybody who ever looks at it will just yell at me for not playing it correctly.
Of course.
Yeah. I don't know. What have you been up to, Kumar?
Actually, I have an interesting title to share with you guys this week. So, I've played through.
I know what you're gonna say, and can you say it?
Now,
can you say
Far
it?
Cry 3 Blood Dragon.
Are you allowed?
Okay, all right. Well, I guess you said it. So,
okay.
I just said it.
For those that didn't hear, he said Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon.
I believe the release date is
April 30th.
Okay, so the end of this month.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've played it through to completion twice. Fantastic game, phenomenal add-on to Far Cry 3 in its
Although
own
it
right,
is a standalone game.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So
does
you
it
don't
launch
need
in
to
its
have
own?
Far Cry?
It launches in its own browser, does its own thing.
Yep, in its own browser, Somppi?
Sorry, not browser. You know what I mean.
Yeah, it's its own executable. It doesn't require Far Cry 3 to play. It's a shorter game, mind you. I think they're only be charging $15 for it.
Oh, okay.
So you'll power through it. First time you'll probably get through it. If you start it on normal, you'll finish it in maybe 5.5 hours if you do everything.
Oh, really?
If you play it on hard, you'll get through it in roughly about the same time, maybe plus an hour or half an hour or so. But really, really fun game. Has nothing to do with Far Cry 3, so you do not play as, what was his name, Jason something or another?
Jason, whatever is
Jason.
who cares?
Yeah, so
Jason.
you don't play as him. It has no affiliation whatsoever to the storyline from Far Cry 3, but it takes a very, very big departure in the sense that it's in the vein of an 80s action film, and so it's set in year 2007 as it would appear to people in 1980.
Oh, really?
And it does a really, really good job in terms of just being fully aware of its identity and what type of style it's going for.
Okay, so it's tongue in cheek kind of.
Yeah, absolutely. Like they make fun of themselves on several occasions in the game, and they do it in such a wicked way. So the writing is hilarious. Like there's times when you'll just smile and laugh because of some of the things that happen, and you'll get really addicted to just the art style and the color choices and the palette that they use for the game. It's I can't really recommend it enough. It's a lot of fun, whole lot of fun.
Sounds pretty phenomenal. I'm actually really looking forward to
I've never seen so many neon lights in a game in my entire life. I'll say that too. It's so bright and so colorful. So very colorful.
So how would you describe the art style for it?
It's the
Lens
same
flary.
in the sense that it looks it's the same as what you'd expect from a modern day shooter in the sense that it's sharp, it's crisp, all that stuff. But I guess the paint job is very, like Dan said, very lens flary. Everything has like a reflective surface. Everything is either like bright and lit or is, I want to say, slightly dark neon kind of thing.
Oh, okay, so everything's brightish colors.
Yeah, if you see any screenshots or if you see gameplay right away, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's just really, really aware of what they're trying to do, and they do it well. They do it very well. So, whole lot of fun. The side missions and whatnot are similar to what you'd expect from Far Cry 3 in the sense that they're very similar in that regard, where you run around, you've got certain collectibles you got to get. The hunting was slightly changed for this time around.
Oh, okay.
Where they've done things a little bit differently. You don't have to actually go out and actively hunt animals anymore, but there are certain progression is made by you hunting certain animals. You just don't use their fur or their, I guess, hearts or whatever, their meat to start crafting items. And actually, that's what they did. They just got rid of there's no more crafting in it. It just, I mean, there's progression.
Well, I don't know how you would fit it in with like weird futuristic stuff.
Yeah, because all the animals every single animal is a cyber something. So there's a cyber shark, a cyber alligator, a cyber tiger, I think, and a leopard.
Cyber tiger's got a good ring to it.
That does have a real nice.
Well, the first time I got attacked by a cyber shark, I shit my pants. It was like, it's just as frightening as it is from Far Cry 3, but it's slightly more so because the thing's got these crazy glowing eyes and it's completely metallic.
Oh wow!
So,
okay,
and the same thing will happen when you run into an alligator. I was gonna say elevator, alligator.
When you run into an elevator, oh, it's reflective, shiny, and it has eyes.
Yep. But yeah, that's a really, really fun game. There's no fall damage either, so you'll have some sort of like some story point or some objective up atop like a mountain. You'll run up it, you'll do what you have to, you'll just jump down.
Really?
And it's just a lot of fun. Yeah.
That does sound like it's pretty interesting.
Yep, it's great. It's there's a lot of really fun stuff to be had in that game. I do wish that it was a little bit longer, and it would have been nice if, actually, we don't even know, but they may have more plans for it. The entire ending sequence is incredibly entertaining, and without spoiling anything, it does leave an opportunity for them to improve it, or not improve it, sorry, but add a little bit more content.
Mm-hmm.
How they would do it, I don't know, but I'm guessing it's probably partly because of the fact that they want to see how well it's received, and then accordingly they'll do things differently in terms of either.
How long did you say it takes to complete the game?
First time around, probably like you're gonna bask in its glory the first time around, so it'll probably take you longer. You'll probably spend upwards of maybe 5.5, 6 hours.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, and you're going to enjoy it the whole way through. You're going to enjoy it. You'll get hooked the first time. You'll just keep playing. You won't stop. But like I said, the ending, it does end on such a point that it leaves room for them to further develop it or add more content later on. I really
exploration of the universe through additional DLC.
Yeah, if they go all out and they start adding more and more to this, I think it'll be received incredibly well. There's no multiplayer either. And I think a multiplayer component would probably be a lot of fun just because of, again, the art style. People would probably just have a lot of fun with it. It'd be generic, but they might consider that. If not, they'll just consider, or I hope. I
never played any Far Cry 3 multiplayer at all, the co-op or the competitive.
Yeah, no, I didn't do any of them.
I tried it out, and like I said,
I got my $60 worth without.
Yeah.
Just with the single player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of good times out of that.
it was generic in its own right. I mean, there was some fun to be had with it, but I don't know if they're going to further pursue that because, like you said, I think the biggest feedback that they've gotten is exactly what you just said, is that people, I think, have just enjoyed the single player so much that they didn't really, mind you, I could be speaking on behalf of a minority here, but
Yeah,
it
that's
seems
true.
that more people that I've spoken to enjoyed the single player.
Yeah, I haven't.
I heard the co-op wasn't that bad either.
It's it was an interesting take on co-op, but I think it would kind of get a little bit generic.
I will actually play the co-op at some point.
Wonder, do I still have Far Cry
with
installed?
with my friend Alex. He's got the game. He's trying to finish up the single player before he jumps into anything else.
Oh, okay.
And he doesn't have a whole lot of time on his hands, so I might play that co-op in like a year.
Oh, all right. It's one of those things that you'll just pick up eventually.
Yeah. Well, whenever he's ready. I've still got it installed, so.
Yeah. Nice. I wouldn't mind going through the campaign on that one again, to be honest with you.
That's a long campaign.
Far Cry 3?
Yeah.
Maybe just playing till the halfway point.
Yeah, maybe halfway point.
that major turning point, eh, Dan?
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Wasted opportunity.
Oh, that was such a wasted opportunity.
Well, you shouldn't.
If I think we had a big
we won't
rant.
talk much more about it.
We had a huge rant about that.
Game's only been out for like 4 months, so
I know, but it's just.
It seems like so long ago, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. Seems like so long ago that game came out.
It was late December, man.
I know.
April.
That's really weird. That's really weird.
It's a great game, though.
Oh, it's a phenomenal game. Really well done.
Yeah.
Except for that last little.
Yeah. I will tell you this, that Rest Easy, Blood Dragon is awesome through and through. And there are no sudden shifts in its consistency or things that will make you angry halfway through. It's a lot of fun through and through.
Great.
Nice.
Yep. Highly recommend it. Definitely check it out.
Huh. Is that pretty much all that we've been playing? I know I was sick last week for.
Well, we've all been
podcast.
kind of in and out of sickness. I was sick during the last podcast. No. 2 podcasts ago is when I was sick. Then you were sick for the last one. You were gone. Now Riccio's sick. So
yeah,
Kumar, you're
I
next.
don't want to be the next
Apparently,
yeah. Kumar, you are apparently the next person to catch this.
I did play a little bit more GTA. I've gotten more into that for some reason. I don't know why. I guess that community night really triggered something in me. And also played some Left 4 Dead with the gang.
Yeah, you had invited me to that, but like legitimately, the second you said, "Hey, want to play Left 4 Dead 2?" I had already powered off, like hit the power button on my PC.
But no one texted me, just like before.
Yeah, well, nobody ever texted me. This is the first time that
we played Versus. There's 8 of us playing, and it was spectacular. A whole lot of fun was had.
Yeah,
that was the first time I'd ever actually checked out Versus mode.
Really?
For all the years that I've now had Left 4 Dead 2, I've never tried it.
The first time you've ever played Versus.
Yep. I didn't even know what it was. Like I got in there and I think the first round, the team that I was on, we ended up spawning as the infected.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that that's
what is even going on?
Well, I sat here and I think I spawned as a hunter, I think.
Okay.
And so I'm sitting here, I'm like, what the hell? Because I was expecting to spawn and then be able to pick up a gun. And sure enough, it was.
Did you eventually figure out that you had to like crouch and then do the attack and then?
Yeah. Well, I had Riccio was on my team, Guru was on my team, and Draco was on my team.
Okay.
So they were very, very instrumental in helping me understand what the hell was going on and how to make the most of every character that we were. So we had some fun, and it's funny because the rivalries get so serious when so for example, someone who messes you up as a spitter or as a hunter on one team, and then you end up spawning as that same infected next time around, you immediately want to go chase them. And so the rivalries that are born from that type of a play mode are hilarious.
I hear you're a pretty big shit talker.
I
hear you're quite.
I think there are some people in the chat right now who played with you last night.
Yep.
And if they could speak up right now and.
There are indeed, yeah, and I would just pick someone new every single time we started, and I would just go at it and just talk shit to them, tell them that I was coming for them or that I was going to kill them next.
Oh, you are those Call of Duty guys, aren't you?
No.
That's what you are.
Never like, oh, I'm better than you. It wasn't that kind of shit talking. This was shit talking like Like I can't remember who the first person was. It was probably Audio Hill, but it was Audio Hill. I'm coming for that ass. And I told him like every
Wow.
Just like straight up, no holds barred. I'm coming for that ass.
No sugarcoating, nothing. Yeah, just straight shit talking. And then, but it's funny because you get the reactions from this, like you get those reactions from people when they get to chase you next.
Yeah.
Because they'll just come at you with a vengeance. So I think it was, and I think I'm going to butcher his name again. I've been told it's Kino, right?
Kino?
Kino or Kino? Is it Kino?
I think it's Kino.
Kino. I've been calling him.
I think he's in the chat also, so I'm sure he can correct us.
Smack him too, and I told him that who's the infected who shoots out that ridiculous tongue?
Liquor. I think it's liquor.
No. Is it actually a liquor?
It's not a liquor.
What's wrong with you?
It's a smoker.
Smoker.
Oh
yes. Yeah, smoker.
So I told him that I was going to shove my tongue down his throat.
Oh wow.
Jesus.
So every single ability that the infected had, I would try to use that to my advantage in being very graphic with my threat.
Wow.
And so
I'll say that's a little bit graphic.
we had a lot of fun that way, and I mean it just goes to show it comes back to what we've said every couple podcasts, but the people in the channel are awesome. Everyone that we get a chance to game with, man, it's so much fun. Like that game, you could play that game with randoms on the internet, but it won't be nearly as fun as having some sort of personality to kind of talk shit to and mess around with. So
yes. Were you guys just text chatting, or were you in a Skype call?
Yeah, well, no, there was four of us were on a Skype call. So the four of us that were on a team, we were on a Skype call.
Okay.
And then everyone else, I was told that we've got some all-star players on the other team, and that was
okay. So who won in the end?
Yeah. Oh, they wrecked us like every couple of rounds. I think we won maybe 2 or 3 little rounds or whatever they're called.
Did you only play one campaign?
No, I think we played 2.
Okay,
we played 2 campaigns.
Okay,
so we won a couple of them, and then we got our asses handed to us for the most part. I didn't even realize there was scoring until halfway through.
Really? You were just thinking the game was.
I kept seeing the ending, because every time you finish I guess it's a checkpoint or whatever you want to call them. Every time you finish them, they tally, or they don't tally. Sorry, they just
whenever the survivors reach a safe. Well, it depends. It scores based on how far each survivor gets and how close they get to the next safe room.
Yeah, and then I think there's like time associated with it as well, and all these different things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they give you your score at the end of it, and so I figured, I was like, it was, at first I thought that was it, that they just beat us or that we just beat them for that particular thing. But then I realized slowly afterwards that they were tallying everything up.
Yeah, so there is a different type of like survivor play where if you know that you're not going to get everyone through, you leave like 2 people behind and the other 2 people just like run as far as they can, just ignoring everything.
We started doing that.
Yeah.
That's when there were times it was funny because myself and I can't remember who it was. It was one other person. It was either I think it was Dokat. No, sorry, it was Drackle. It was Drackle. We had a ridiculous run where we held everyone off and we kept getting down, but we'd keep bringing each other back up. And we lasted longer than we thought we would, but we just didn't even, like, we barely progressed, so we didn't get very much in the way of points.
Yeah.
And that's when it clicked, and I was like, Jesus, like, we've given away so many points, and that explains why everyone's just booking it to try and proceed and progress through the entire chapter. But that was a lot of fun. Like that, again, like I said, it's a testament to the quality of people that we have in the channel and the people who play with us. Man, that was a whole lot of fun. That's about it though for me. That's pretty much all I've played.
Yeah, I haven't. We've all had kind of lazy weeks.
Yeah, it's been a lot of stuff. Been a lot of me watching Burn Notice and playing Civ.
Burn Notice is an alright show.
Burn Notice is pretty damn good.
You said you get lost in Civ, right? Like you'll burn through like 3-4 hours at a time, kind of thing.
Yeah, there will be moments where, like, I'll just put Netflix on and I'll have a pot of tea or something, and I'll just be trying to zone out and relax a little bit, and I'll start a new Civ game, and I'll look at like you know that timer that Netflix has? I think it's called the sleep timer.
However long you like don't click the screen.
Yeah,
it goes like, hey, do you want to continue playing? Because we added autoplay, and
yeah, like so
we don't want to eat all your bandwidth.
Yeah. So each episode of Burn Notice is about,
it'd be 45 minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes long. I would find myself not even realizing what like episode I was on or anything like that, and just just like only clicking back into the like reality once
It suddenly stopped.
yeah,
out of
it suddenly
nowhere.
stopped and I'm like, hey, what happened to my, oh God, I've been playing this game for 2.5 hours.
I want to say it's like on the third, maybe fourth episode of a show when you haven't clicked is when that pops up about 5 minutes into that episode.
Yeah, something like that.
So that's so on long because it doesn't. I don't think it changes whether you're watching a 22-minute or a 45-minute show.
I don't think it does. I think it's just after 4 you're done.
Yeah.
So it's really good.
It's a good hour and a half before you realize time has passed.
Yeah, it's not even like it's like, oh hey, look, it's 4 o'clock, and then 15 minutes later, oh hey, look, it's this. No, it's legitimately like, oh, an hour and a half has passed. What has gone on? Like, what have I done?
The sun went down. What the?
That happened to me. Isn't that the worst when you're playing a game or something and you look
I woke
away?
up and started playing this game.
Yeah, and
What happened? It's the night again.
yep, that seems to happen a fair amount. There'll be times where I'll like look out my window and it's 6 o'clock or something like that, and time's just passing away real quick with that game. So I like Civilizations. It's fun. Though I'm not gonna lie to you, I definitely am not very good at diplomacy. It's not really my strong suit in that game.
Just going around and killing everybody.
No, it's like little things like people can't enter your borders unless they're open, but if they enter without open borders, it's an act of war. And so what'll end up happening is I'll just click and won't be really I'll be not fully paying attention to something, and I'll click and it'll declare war, and I'm like, shit, I didn't want to do that. And then you try and make a peace offering and say like, hey, I'm gonna give you this much gold, and they're like, oh, we want more. You declare war on me. It's like you're gonna have to pay me off for us to be friends. So I end up paying them a little bit more or something like that. Or if he really pisses me off because they can request things from you too, I'll just go to war with them. As simple as that.
Because they just don't want to pay.
Yeah, it's like every once in a while you'll find a civilization. It'll be like, we are Might and Grady. You need to pay us. And normally I don't react very well to people telling me what to do.
Fuck no! I'll kill all of you.
Yeah. So for instance, Genghis Khan was my partner for a long time, and we were pretty close buddies. We were doing good, and we were having some fun. And then he randomly decided that he wanted gold from me, so I took over all of his cities and turned them into puppets.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's the little things in life that you have to enjoy, like having a vassal state or conquering lands of somebody else's. So it's fun. It's fun. I quite like it. If anybody has Civ 5 and wants to maybe set up a multiplayer match, you can actually get some pretty intense.
Yeah, those can take days.
Yeah,
but at least there is like a. I know there's like we want to quit right now, so one person's going to save and quit, and then they can host that game, and then people just jump back into.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As well as.
So
I know because
really
Liz
turn-based
plays a lot of Civ 4.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, like a lot.
You should get her to get Civ 5.
She has Civ 5. Her and her group are like, they don't care. They're staying back with the old version because Civ 4 is a superior game.
It truly is. Civ 5, they removed a lot of things out of it that were really key and kind of made it what it was. But Civ 5 looks phenomenal with this. It has an updated graphics engine in it, and it just looks so good.
Did they make drastic changes to gameplay and stuff? I feel like you've answered this before, but
Yeah, they made huge changes to gameplay. Like the cities was a big one. There's a couple other things with like scouts and as well as combat's a little bit more different now. Ranged attacks, you can shoot twice on a ranged attack as opposed to once, and there's always really random.
So there's gameplay stuff too.
Yeah, there's gameplay stuff that they've actively changed. So,
Jeez.
yeah, like it's a good game. Don't get me wrong, and I've been really enjoying it. But
Is this am I mistaking Civ 5 with something different? Because I feel like didn't Civ 5 come out like a long time ago?
Yeah.
like
Wasn't it like a year, like 2 years or something? Or
I was gonna. I wanna
Someone
say
in the
like
chat here saying 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Okay, so I'm thinking of the right game then. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Civ 5's been out for a while.
Yeah, it's been out for a while,
Okay.
and I think Sid Meier's making Civ 6 now. I'm not sure that he's actually doing anything else, so...
Okay.
Well, he's the only 2 games that his studio is making right now is another Civilization and another XCOM, and I know he doesn't actually work on XCOM.
No, he doesn't have anything to do with
So-
XCOM. Yeah,
XCOM was a great game.
I hope they really they bring back with Civ 6. They bring back some of the previous things out of Civ 4 and kind of
Well,
implement.
Civ 5 was supposed to be like the super accessible one,
yeah,
wasn't it?
Yeah, Civ. If you're
Which
looking,
I still can't get into it, so there you have it.
okay, if you're looking for the more accessible one, it's definitely Civ 5. If you're looking for the like crazy intense one, it's Civ 4. As well as I've been playing around with mods for Civ 4, and one of them is the ultra realistic one, where everything looks super realistic, as well as it takes longer to upgrade items and get technology, and you have to have, if you don't have the resource, you don't have the technology that goes along with it. For instance, if you don't have oil anywhere near you, or you're not trading for oil, you can't do anything with that in regards to oil. So you can't run steam, you can't have tanks, you can't have gunpowder, like all these crazy things. So it's, I don't know, it's pretty fun, and there's a huge mod community for Civ 4. So I certainly recommend
Well,
it.
I believe Civ 5 has Steam Workshop support as well.
Yeah, I think it does.
So
So you can share all your mods and stuff easily, or
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, you should get it, Kumar. I think you'd like it.
I should get Civ 5.
Well, Civ 4 or 5. I think it's one of those ones that I think you'd have a lot of fun with it.
Has Dan ever told you how I play StarCraft? I don't know if I should get into Civ.
I'm not really a great StarCraft player either. So
well, Civilization is a turn-based strategy
yeah.
game. You know how much I like turn-based stuff. I can't get into Civ.
Is it just
If
because
that
it's
tells
just
you
not
anything.
the right type of gameplay for you, or what?
Well, it is not necessarily a combative game. It is
It's all strategy.
I feel like it created that genre. It is a civilization game. You are trying to build up your city and expand, and you can win by like, what is it, like cultural victory,
democracy,
you can win the space race.
or
so
the
it's
arms
like,
race.
Yeah.
It's like that board game that we played.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, so
Seven
you're talking
Wonders.
about Seven Wonders? Yeah,
Yeah.
Except Seven Wonders takes like 30 minutes, whereas a game of Civ takes days.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah, so
longest
we're-
longest match I've got is 22 days, or something I've seen like
See, that's
that.
crazy. I think that's where there's a little bit of a disconnect for myself.
Oh,
I
you
just don't
can,
invest that kind of time.
but I set my speed to like super slow for that game, so everything
Why would
takes
you do that?
because I was playing a secondary Civ
But
game
it's
at the same time as that
turn
other
based.
one.
Why would? Wait a minute. What?
I was playing a Civ 4 version and I was playing Civ 5 at the same time. Don't judge.
Wow.
And watching Burn Notice.
Of course.
Triple tasking.
Triple tasking. Yeah. No. So it's, I don't know, it's fun. I like it. I'm gonna keep playing more of it. And I want to play multiplayer, but I don't know if I would really get into that waiting for other people to finish their turn kind of thing. So
Well, it's something that you do whenever Liz plays Civ 4. She is playing it with one of our roommates and like 3 or 4 of our other friends, and they're just hanging out while they are playing it. It's like
okay, somebody, yeah.
it's like when we're hanging out here and just someone's playing a video game. It's like as if we were all playing a video game, but it's slow and it takes the amount of time that they want it to take, so they just talk for the whole time.
Yeah, okay. All right. That's not bad. I just it'd take a while for me to get used to it.
Someone is bringing up the story that came out a little while ago about the guy who played a Civilization 2 game for 10 years.
Really?
And
craziness.
I don't remember how long it actually went in the game.
Permanent
I'm gonna see
nuclear
if I
war.
can,
In terms of
Bring this
how long the single turn was, or
well, no, he got to 3,000 3991 AD is the year he's in as of the time of the story writing.
Really?
Yeah.
That is intense.
so he's dedicated.
I think this came out on Reddit and then a bunch of places picked it up. I think
Is it a Kotaku
Fire
article?
Access actually No, it's PC Gamer. Everywhere talked about this because it was just a crazy thing that someone can play that crazy old game for 10 years.
Yeah. I can definitely see it because it is real fun.
Sompy, you're saying
Go on. Go on.
You're the craziest one for yourself was what, 22 days?
Yeah, 22
21
days.
What did you just say?
Yeah,
yeah, he said 22.
Okay.
22 days long.
And this guy's at 10 years.
I couldn't imagine playing something for 10 years just because I think I get bored of it.
Yeah.
But
well, you can't even like the games that you like. What? Yeah, no, I can't fathom it either. Clearly,
no, that's something that I could not do for that long. It just nope, not happening. Nope. I guess on that note, I guess we should probably
yeah, let's go to news.
roll
I think
into some news.
Yes,
Riccio's
yes,
giving-
Riccio. The Black Ops looks really cool, especially that like 8-barreled shotgun you were using there. Yes, it all looks very cool. Audio listeners, Riccio is causing all this trouble for you. Make a note of it. Oh, that shotgun only has 6 barrels. My mistake. Anyways, news time. What should we start with here? Let's start with this one because it's short. What do you want to start with?
I like the Last Light one, but no,
Okay,
you
then we'll
fucking
start with
ruined-
this-
No, you fucking ruined
This
it.
Metro Last Light stuff.
I like
videos
Metro.
about it. I don't give anything shits about it.
Anything shits.
That's right.
That's a new type of diarrhea. You be careful.
Continue.
Continue, Dan.
I don't have anything to say about this.
All right,
You're
so,
the one who cares. The other one who
there's-
cares is dead.
Yeah, okay. All right. So Metro Last Light is being released sometime May, I think.
May 14th.
All right. Awesome. Great. I totally got that down. May 14th, Metro Last Light is being released. They've kind of released some videos that are survival.
They're basically, they say they're like survival guides,
But
it's
they're
basically
just showing shit
It's
off.
basically a dev diary.
Yeah. And so what it
Just
is,
it's a dev diary with some dude doing a Russian accent.
pretty much. So it's shows you kind of some of the environments, and I really like the Stalker franchise. So for me, it really fits in perfectly because Metro is just, I feel like a twin brother or a sole successor to some of the Stalker franchises. So I really enjoy the combat and the ultra realistic feel of it, where you have to honestly put your gas mask on. And the big thing in this game is wiping away rainwater and blood. So during the survival guide, if you go outside, your mask starts building up raindrops, and you have to actually wipe them away, or else you won't be able to see anything, and the whole screen will just become this blurry mess of water and effects. As well as it's the same thing with blood. So if you shoot someone in the face real close, blood covers your mask, and you have to wipe it away, or else you cannot see. So I think that's
Are they
really
going for a more
kick-ass.
survival horror sort of feel, or what?
Well, have you played any of this Metro or Stalker franchise?
No, specifically about Metro.
Okay, Metro tends to be
It's always been kind of
survival.
scary.
Yeah, it definitely has great atmosphere in it.
Yep.
So for instance, I'm playing on like the headphones I have big 50 millimeter speakers in them.
Yep.
So everything sounds really nice, as well. It's got a lot of virtualized 5.1 surround sound. So in Metro 2033, you'll hear your footsteps and you hear your guy breathing, and if you stop, it's nothing but silence because you're up in a nuclear wasteland and there's nothing really making sound. So you hear concrete kind of like breaking off and crumbling as you're walking, and then out of nowhere you'll hear like a mutant, or you'll hear like maybe another stalker, or I think they're called stalkers in that as well. You'll hear
Rangers.
Rangers, yeah. But you'll hear I think there's also stalkers in that game.
Maybe
in
it's an
2033.
enemy.
Yeah, well, because they're made by the same. They were originally made by the same company.
Yeah, but the dudes are called Rangers.
Yeah, but there's stalkers as well. Are people who aren't part of any faction, and they go up to the surface. I believe it's stalkers.
Sure?
I'm fairly certain because
That
you
would be a weird
crossover thing.
Yeah. Anyways.
So what it is it, like you have great ambience in the actual environment, and sound plays a really important role in it. So I'm really excited to see how how Last Light really holds up, and it looks just phenomenal. It looks like such a good game.
Are you going to play it on PC as well?
Yeah, I'll obviously play it on PC.
Have you finished 2033 yet?
No, I actually went back to it a couple of weeks ago and started. So I'm back to where I was before, but I now have more gas masks.
Yeah, you were talking about that.
I love how this has been going on for so long.
Okay, Kumar, are you good at are you good at dealing with scary games? I guess you are if you played through all the.
To a certain extent, yes, but I've never really liked playing them because they do scare the hell out of me.
Okay.
But I've appreciated the fact that, again, it still impresses me to this day how incredibly realistic lighting effects can really change something, or how a particular sound can just freak you out.
If you like that, you will love 2033 and the Stalker franchises.
I think you said this to me a little while back that I should check it out. So it's on my list, and I think I'm pretty sure I have one of the Stalker games.
There's 3 Stalkers. There's Shadow of Chernobyl, Clear Sky, and Call of Pripyat. In that order is when they came out. Shadow of Chernobyl is the one that I played the most hours into, but Call of Pripyat is the last one in the franchise. It had a lot of the gun modifications and ambience, and it did a really good job of setting up.
Are they all continuations, by the way? Like, are they all the same story?
No, it's all in the same area, but it's not the same story. I think
it's like the Fallout games where they're all in the same universe, but
yeah, I think Clear Sky is actually set beforehand, and I want to say Call of Pripyat is set at the same time as the other one, if I remember correctly, as the first one. So there's good. They're really good games, and I find that 2033 does a better job at ambience and sound. But if you like them, I think you'll like both of them.
Okay.
Especially if you kind of like that horror game vibe, they definitely have the mutants in it will freak you out.
Well, put it this way, I think there's probably one game that I can today say very confidently I will never voluntarily want to play, and that is oh my god, what's it called now? I spoke about it I think either last week or the week before. Crap, what was it called?
I don't remember.
You're the reporter who goes into the asylum.
Oh God, I don't remember the name of that game.
Oh my god, what was it called?
Riccio would know, but he's dead.
Yeah.
The one where you have the camera and you go into the asylum.
Journalist.
Fatal Frame?
No. This is a new one.
Oh, okay.
It's not out yet. Yeah.
Condemned?
No, the one with
That's
that
not Condemned.
the night vision camera
It's
mode.
very, very new. It's not even out yet. Like there was.
Outlast.
Outlast.
Yes.
Is that the
Yeah.
one?
Okay.
And I will never play that game.
Okay. Well, I definitely think you should try 2033 if you're looking for a good fix.
Something a little bit more manageable.
Yeah, if you're looking for something more manageable, start off with the Stalkers, because they.
Okay.
Well, no, they're big open world games. They take a lot longer to complete than Metro would.
No, fucking Stalker took me 20 hours, if that.
Yeah, Metro's way shorter than that.
Metro's like 30 or something like
No,
that.
it's not. Yeah, it's 5.
Really? That's it? God, I'm halfway through that game already. Jesus. God, I should really stick with it.
Yeah, you probably have finished it by now.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
right.
Stalker is a big open world game that can take forever, whereas
And Stalker also boasts.
Metro is a linear shooter.
Yeah. The Stalker games also boast relationship dynamics. So if you help people out with
They're basically post-apocalyptic dating sims is what they are.
Yeah. So if you help someone out, he'll take you out on a date, he'll give you an 8K, maybe a couple of rounds, go kill some mutants together, go clear out some bandits, loot some corpses, eat some tin can food, the good stuff.
Like a regular date, right?
Yeah, a regular date. Yeah, so I definitely recommend playing those. I think you can pop onto the next piece of news.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Shut up, Dan.
Bethesda released
I was
a
gonna
teaser
interrupt you.
Vine, so it's 6 seconds long and not much of anything.
Shows barbed wire and a record.
Yeah, but it looks like it should be Fallout, but they have stated that it's not Fallout. That is all.
Yes.
So they're working on something new. What's that?
I was just saying, I don't think it's possible for me to care less about Bethesda now than I ever have.
Why?
I'm so I'm so over giving a shit about what they do now.
Yeah. Well, didn't they do? Aren't they releasing a Skyrim
Well, whatever they're
MMO or some shit like that? Or
well,
did
they're
that
doing
get
Elder
canned?
Scrolls Online.
Yes.
They're still doing that, but this is not Elder Scrolls in any way.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, see, they're a
Black
good
Ops 1
developer.
maps.
Okay, thank you, Riccio.
Thanks, Riccio.
Thank you so much, Riccio.
Thanks, that was the Black Ops minute.
That was Black
That was
Ops.
a Black
minute.
Ops 10 seconds.
Featuring
still
a-
more
That was
time.
the minute.
To be fair, Riccio, you're right. I did like this map in Black Ops 1. So
Yes, I did
That
too.
is something.
I know, Lisa.
Okay, you're either all in or all out.
Get out.
That's why you're out. Anyways, we asked him a question. We brought him back in. It was a mistake.
Yep.
So how about you guys? Are you excited about whatever it is that they're going to unveil? Or
I kind of hope it's Fallout because I still like Fallout, whereas I kind of burnt out on Skyrim. You know, in another like 4 years or whatever the gap was, 4 maybe 5 years between Oblivion and Skyrim, another gap like that, and I'll like Elder Scrolls 6. But
They tweeted and says it wasn't though.
Yeah.
what? Yeah, I know this isn't. What the fuck? Old news, Riccio. You're out.
All right. So something new from Bethesda. We'll see what it is later on.
I'm sure it'll be good. I mean, their last like, hey, random reveal thing was Dishonored.
Yes,
So,
and that was a good game.
yeah. Or I guess so. Maybe it was. I don't know. I didn't play it.
I liked it.
Riccio liked it too. So there's that. All right, next piece of news
You're drunk off
is
power.
they released a new trailer for Splinter Cell Blacklist.
And you really like it.
Yeah, of course, because it's actually Sam Fisher. No,
Not.
it looked cool, but I will
Still don't
probably
feel right.
play it, but it doesn't feel right, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, in the last game where they had all this violence and interrogation and stuff, they had a reason for it because Sam Fisher was off the grid. He was doing all this stuff for himself. He was looking for his daughter.
Where's my wife?
Yeah, no, he didn't say that. But
Be better if he did.
there was reasoning for all that, and he was old and he was grizzled and stuff. And now he's like super young again and different voice actor, but it takes place after Conviction. So that makes no goddamn sense.
Yeah, they seem to have really kind of dropped the ball with the entirety of the timelines behind the story and how they want everything to appear.
Yeah, I mean, we were saying there's probably a way they could justify it if he gets like,
Hit in the throat by a helicopter blade.
well, that
what
was
you
the
said?
joke way, but reasonably he could get like, if they had Michael Ironside voicing him for like the first mission or something, and then he got like devastatingly injured, and then that changed up the character model and the voice because he had to undergo like extensive surgery to stay alive. If they went that far and did that, I'd be like, okay, that's fine now. But so far they haven't even talked about that.
So just you really want an explanation, don't you, Dan?
Yeah. Why is it not Sam Fisher anymore? Even though they say his name is Sam Fisher, it's not Sam Fisher. I always liked the Splinter Cell series. It was always you were either on Splinter Cell's side or Metal Gear's side. I was on Splinter Cell's side.
Metal Gear.
Me too, actually.
Devin, you were on Metal Gear?
No, I was never really on either of them, to be honest with you.
I never got into Metal Gear. I just thought it was too over the top for me.
I liked Metal Gear 1.
Like on the NES?
You talking about Solid or Metal Gear?
Solid, sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Not on the NES. I don't know. I never really got huge into a lot of the Splinter Cell games, but I enjoyed
Sorry,
it.
someone in the chat, Shanghai China, just brought up that Splinter Cell could pull a Metal Gear Solid and Sam could just be a clone. That would be pretty ridiculous.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
all right, we
well,
just
if you
gave
do
you-
that, that's fine.
Ubisoft, I think
Yeah,
they're
it's
the
not
ones
that
who
bad.
develop it. Yeah.
Yeah, their move.
We just gave you an out.
Your move, Ubisoft.
We gave you an out now.
Leave it to Shanghai. Right?
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, we'll move on to the next piece of news here because we could talk about how no sense.
No sense
makes-
equals best sense.
2K has removed all trailers and every piece of proof that they were ever developing the XCOM first-person shooter.
Yep.
Wow.
So I guess they're not making it anymore.
Nope.
Either that or it's going to blow our minds. One of the-
Either that or they're just gonna be like, yo, surprise.
Yeah, some weird ARG to like find out what happened.
Yeah.
That would actually be pretty cool.
Mm.
But I think it would be cool if it was a ploy to like, hey, we're going to make this XCOM shooter. Oh, you guys want the strategy version? Well, one of these is in development and almost done, so here, have this. And now we've got you excited for old XCOM again, so we're just going to get rid of this. That seems like that's a...
It was all just some conspiracy...
To get people upset that they were going to make it a shooter and say they wanted the old strategy one, and then they called the people's bluff and released a strategy one and did really well, and now they're like, okay, well, we don't need to have anything to do with this anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's news.
I guess it's kind of news.
How do you feel about the Nintendo event that happened today?
Actually, these things
We've got some more news on that
here. Yeah, a bunch of new Nintendo stuff.
When was that? I meant to ask you guys today. When did they actually announce that they were going to have an event like this? Was it really last minute, or had this been?
Well, they always.
in the
I think they always send it up to like gaming press people, and then they tell stuff. But I think they have a Twitter, so they probably just tweet like Nintendo Direct tomorrow at 10 a.m. or whatever. So.
Something like that.
It's always early in the morning too.
Yeah.
At like 10 Eastern. So, yeah. But big news out of that is well, pretty much new everything.
Yeah.
Everything is new.
There's a new Link to the Past. I think they're actually calling it Link to the Past 2.
Yeah, which has this weird, like, Link turns into a drawing.
It turns into a drawing and moves across the wall.
I don't understand.
It reminds me of like a Paper Mario mechanic.
Yeah, that's what I was
done
thinking
before.
too. Not really sure how that fits in.
It's really weird.
It looks
think.
cool, and it's a neat concept, but I'm not really sure how that ties into them.
It'll probably be
Feels
okay.
a little bit out of place. But
Yeah,
but I should say this Nintendo Direct was based pretty much entirely on 3DS news. So all the games they announced is like there's new Donkey Kong, there's the new Zelda, there's what was some of the other stuff? Where's the... There it is.
There's also Magma and Call of Duty now. Call of Duty Minute.
Riccio's yelling things.
Riccio's dead.
if they had released or if they had made an announcement rather that some Castlevania game was coming that was a true, not even necessarily a sequel, but just a true version of Castlevania, I would have been stoked.
Well, they've been doing those on the original DS. There was one not too long ago,
There's three,
Order
right?
of Ecclesia.
Weren't there three of them that were released?
Yeah, there was Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin, which is one of my favorite ones, and
Yeah.
Order of Ecclesia, which is not one of my favorite ones.
Aw, Dan, why not?
Because it was weird and different. They changed too much about... To use your weapons and stuff, you had to kill enemies and potentially unlock glyphs, which you would equip to your character on X and Y, and then you could like do combos with glyphs where they would attack more frequently or have different attacks if you used two. I didn't like it. It was like they were trying to do the Sorrow series like soul trap mechanic that they've always had,
yes.
but it wasn't really done as well. Because in Aria of Sorrow and Dawn of Sorrow, Soma could always you could get a soul from every single enemy in the game. And sure, they didn't have that great drop rates, but neither did the glyphs. So, but they always, I don't know. It seemed weird. To attack, you actually had to use up like mana.
Oh, okay.
It was weird. Plus the like, it's weird for me to be saying this because I mostly like games pretty much no matter what they are when they come out, but it's kind of a weird structure. Most areas would start with a boss.
Mm-hmm.
But the way you would level up would almost be like it's really hard to go back and actually farm experience to be strong enough to beat those bosses easily. But then you couldn't progress into the new area because the boss is in your way first. I don't know. I like the old... It wasn't even like big castles to explore. It was separated off areas.
Quite honestly, they could re-release Portrait of... Was it Portrait of Sorrow?
It was, there was...
What was it called?
The good ones, there's... Everything since Symphony of the Night, it's been Symphony of the Night, Circle of the Moon, Harmony of Dissonance, Aria of Sorrow, Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin, and Order of Ecclesia.
So it was Dawn of Sorrow, I think, was the one that I enjoyed the most. That was the first one that came out on the DS, right?
That's right. That's where you would capture souls and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Those
so
ones are widely
re-released
regarded as some of the better Castlevanias, Aria and Dawn of Sorrow.
Mm. like I said, even if they just re-released that in a manner that just used the 3DS hardware, I'd be very happy.
They
with
could
that.
make another Sorrow game. That's the one that takes place in like the future.
Yeah.
After Dracula is like long dead. So they could always make
But they
another
won't,
one in that
But
series.
they're too busy making Mario games and
Lords of
Zelda.
Shadow games.
Mhm.
Well, it's not Nintendo that makes that stuff. They just put them out on Nintendo platforms.
There
They
you go.
put out a like side-scrolling Lords of Shadow game, but apparently it's not very good on the 3DS.
I can't say I'm happy with the decisions that they make.
I would love to see another Castlevania. I went back and played that. I've been going back and trying old Castlevanias since playing Guacamelee because every time someone releases a Metroidvania game, I go back and like, oh, I want more of this. And so I'll go play Symphony of the Night again, and maybe dig into those DS titles. The problem is that I really, really like Portrait of Ruin, but I can't find my DS cartridge of it.
Oh, really?
And you can't buy that shit anywhere anymore because
Nope.
They don't make it. And I'm really sad because I really like Portrait of Ruin. I actually 100%ed that game, which I can't say I've done for any of the other Castlevanias.
I'm going to find you a copy of it, Dan.
That would be fantastic because that is...
This is just gold for you.
Yeah, I really like Portrait of Ruin. That game was good. I really like Castlevania games, I'll be honest with you guys. I like Lords of Shadow for some reason. I can't place why. It was like weird nostalgia for people that had played all the old Castlevania games, but then you were kind of like, why isn't this just an old Castlevania game? Yeah. I like Castlevania.
Damn strippers.
I've been playing Symphony of the Night again on my Vita because I have the PS1 version of that.
Oh, nice.
And that's pretty cool. I've always had trouble with the kind of opening parts of that game because there's not many options you have weapons-wise. But then, I don't know how I never found this before, but there's an elevator you can go down in the first area and get a knife that stabs really, really quickly and does the same damage as the sword you have at the beginning.
Oh, yeah?
And I am just killing fools with that thing, and it is exciting to progress through that game at its speed now. Normally I'm dying by the time I get to the outer wall in the library, and I'm just not happy with any of that, but this knife is just really getting me through stuff.
You're just doing it
Killing
for
the doppelganger at the outer wall is really fun.
Nice.
Yeah. That knife makes that game fun to play at the beginning.
By the way, Dan,
The only problem is I'm going to have to look up how to get the reverse castle, the inverted castle, because I don't remember how to do that. I think you need to get rings and go to the clock room. I don't remember exactly. What were you going to say, Kumar?
Oh, I was just saying, just remind me after the cast is done, I found you a copy.
Well, get on ordering that. I'll pay you back, as long as it's reasonable.
It's local, so we don't even have to order it, my friend.
Great. We'll go pick it up tonight.
I'll get right on that.
I really like Portrait of Ruin. Maybe people that listen to this also play Castlevania and like games. In which case, tell me which Castlevania is your favorite.
And if you like games, good.
You are in the right podcast.
Yes, this is not the fine dining podcast.
Okay, what other Nintendo stuff came out here?
Imagine how boring of a podcast that would be. The fine dining podcast. They just go to some fine dining restaurant, just sit there and eat.
You just hear them eat.
Just listen to people eat a steak.
Hey, if they ate it and it sounded like BioShock, I would listen to it.
This is what a steak sounds like. This is what chips sound like. This is what an apple sounds like. Thanks for tuning into the Fine Dining Podcast. I've been Sompy.
Oh, poor Riccio, he's dying. Okay, so we got a new Mario Party. It's coming out for the 3DS. Super Luigi U.
By the way, before we get into the rest of this list, did they have release dates for any of these announcements or no?
A few of them they did, and a few of them are actually like really soon. There's a couple that are actually like in May or something like that. Some of the downloadable stuff. Most of it's holiday though.
Oh, okay.
Like so September to December this year, probably.
I'm wondering why they would have made this announcement, or made these announcements rather, here instead of waiting until E3.
Nintendo's been doing their own direct stuff for a while now.
Yeah. They've been having their own...
Like, pretty much they unveiled the Wii U at E3 last year, but every other piece of information that's come out about that has been through a Nintendo Direct. So, they're doing good. I mean, Sony has their own blog and stuff that they do all their announcements through now, pretty much. All their games that are coming out and stuff. So Microsoft is the only one that doesn't really have any sort of like PR area. I mean, they have Major Nelson who talks about like sales and stuff, but
that's really about it.
It's just a single dude's blog.
Yeah.
So, with the PlayStation blog, they actually have like developers come in and write pieces on like the game and when it's going to come out and what kind of stuff they're adding to it. And that's actually kind of cool to read sometimes. And it's always tons of information about all the games you're looking for and all the trailers and stuff you can find. Whereas Microsoft stuff, it's just kind of like,
this is going to be on sale.
Yeah, well, this will be coming out 2 weeks from now. It's like, oh, okay, well,
thanks.
Great. Yeah, I think maybe Microsoft is going to have the biggest E3 press conference because they simply haven't been talking about their stuff independently.
Yeah.
If Nintendo had saved all the Direct stuff and Sony had saved all the PS4 and blog stuff for E3, then it'd be quite a competition. But at this rate, Sony's probably just going to go like, okay, we have these couple of new games. Nintendo's going to be like, here's more Pikmin 3 footage, which they did show today. So
there's a new Pikmin.
Yeah, he has wings. He flies. As you might have noticed, he's on the cover right here.
Is that about it?
Where?
Right here. Here's a circle. Yeah.
Oh.
People who have watched that.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Yeah. It's just a silly part because he's talking about, oh, look, on the art we released a long time ago, there's a Pikmin with wings, so he can fly.
Surprise.
With wings?
No.
He can fly.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
It was just a weird moment for an otherwise normal
Nintendo thing.
And the really sad guy.
Yeah, there's one.
The guy talking about the like Link to the Past sequel and the Lego City Undercover stuff.
Just seems sad.
Yeah. What was the scenario you came up with? That he was sitting on the same couch where his wife had just left him
and the kids had.
And she took the kids and his dog.
Yep.
Jeez.
And then they had to turn on the camera and film this live thing.
He couldn't even get a single day off.
He just looked sad.
Like, there's one moment where we actually stopped it, and it was just like the most depressing looking face ever.
Saw his lips quiver at one point. It was really funny. I don't know what that says about us, but...
Well, I just stabbed 3 police officers, so...
Okay.
Oh, God.
Next, so Earthbound is also the big news here.
Yes.
I think that was their big thing.
That
it is coming to Virtual Console.
finally.
Yeah.
Yep.
North America. That's why.
What? Well, yeah. Well, I guess it's never been in North America before. I have seen $5,000 Earthbound cartridges at Microplays.
Yep.
Excuse me.
No, I mean...
It's never actively
Virtual
released.
Console's in Japan and all that shit already.
Okay. Riccio, you in or you out?
North America!
He yelled America.
No, North America.
For America.
North.
But yeah, they said Pikmin 3 is going to be released in August. There's a new Mario and Donkey Kong minis thing. I forget what it's called. Something of minis. Coming out on May 9th on 3DS.
So Dan, the real question
Bunch of
here is,
stuff.
have they convinced you to buy 3DS?
No, because there's no Advance Wars.
Okay.
That's the bottom line. Is really what it is.
If it comes out, so if there was an announcement today and they said Advance Wars, whatever title, is coming in, I don't know, holiday season, would you have gone out and bought one today, or would you still have waited?
I would wait because maybe they would release an Advance Wars 3DS, like a special
the
branded
one that
one.
had artwork on it or something?
Yeah, they did that for Fire Emblem. So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
yeah, it's just kind of like
There's
a
blue.
patterny thing on the back, but
Didn't they released or spoke about a Animal Crossing themed DS?
yeah, that the sad guy was holding that.
Okay.
Yeah, he was sad.
I bet you he's sad because he just doesn't give a shit about any of the games that they spoke about.
No, like seriously, if you honestly saw this, you'd be like, man, that is a depressed looking man. He was a sad, sad man. Somebody needs to go and cheer him up.
Yeah,
Like,
he was sad.
ooh,
Poor guy.
yeah.
Okay, anyways.
Enough about the sad Nintendo employee.
Let me just quickly run down the list here of everything else that's coming out that they announced. Shin Megami Tensei 4 will be coming out July 16th. Game and Wario, they revealed a couple more mini games for that. The sad guy did that as well.
Yeah, and that just made it seem even sadder.
There was something about virtual tours, which is not listed here.
$2 a piece.
Yeah, $2 a piece to take virtual tours of cities or something. The new Professor Layton game will be out in 2014. That's the end to the series or something like that.
I bet you he dies.
That's what I said. You can't take my bets. I already bet that. Yeah, so the Animal Crossing DS will be released with the new game. So see, it's totally normal for there to be a themed game around
a major
release, which I would hope that Advance Wars would be considered a major release for me to get a 3DS with Advance Wars stuff on it.
But here's the thing: I don't know if there's going to be enough buzz to warrant a.
I'll special order one. I'll be like, hey, I really like Advance Wars. Can you just slap a original looking tank on the back of that thing, and I'll take it.
Actually, worst case, Dan, you could probably just get one of the plain ones and just get a decal made.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure I could do that, but yeah. Anyways, Advance Wars is real good.
If somebody wants to send us an Advance Wars 3DS,
I actually, when I was at
be greatly appreciated.
That board game convention thing back in February, I found a copy of, because there were people selling other stuff there too. I found a copy of Advance Wars 2.
Oh, really?
The only thing is that the wipe data shortcut or whatever doesn't seem to work on a DS.
Oh,
so I haven't played it really, but I have a copy of that now. So I'm only missing Advance Wars 1, and then I have them all. So Sweet. That's cool. All right. 2 more pieces of news here. EA is officially stopping the Sims Social and SimCity Social. They will go offline on June 14th.
Yep. That didn't last long.
No. Riccio was saying that SimCity Social came out a few months ago. June 25th, it says here. So the game will have been out for less than a year.
That's pretty bad for a social game.
Well, I mean, I guess they're hedging all their bets with the new SimCity, right?
Yeah, that's true. I think they were. I think that was initially
that's the place to put your bets, because
that's a terrible game.
Is that stuff still fucked up? I don't know.
Yeah, it still is. There's still lots of grief and shit over
I think Cheetah Speed came back.
Yeah, Cheetah Speed's back, but there's
I think we talked about that last week.
Still a lot of shit that people are not happy with EA.
Yeah.
And I think they're also voting. What are you doing, Riccio?
He's pouring water or something. I don't know. Ignore him. He's out.
They're. I think they were voted the worst company again.
Yeah, but that's such a stupid.
Yeah, it's
so dumb.
Yeah.
What is Riccio? What are you doing? Riccio.
Stop it.
Stop.
Block music.
Is he dancing?
He's making signals with his hands. I don't know.
Oh.
I can't see him in this crappy camera we have set up for him.
So what else?
Anyways, I don't really care about that Sims stuff being broken.
It's Sims.
Or whether it's going away, because I don't haven't been able to get into those games for a while. So, and the last piece of news is State of Decay, the DayZ looking Xbox Live Arcade game, will be coming out in June.
It's $15, I believe.
It actually looks pretty cool. When Riccio just started playing the trailer, I thought it was for DayZ. So I guess that says something, but I've never played DayZ, so maybe it doesn't say anything. I don't. How much is this supposed to be? Doesn't say.
More importantly, does it even look worth picking up or what?
It actually looks pretty decent, to be honest with you.
Hey Riccio,
Yeah.
I'm bringing you in for one question here. Do you know if this has multiplayer?
No, it does not, I believe.
Okay, so single player only zombie wasteland experience. There you go.
Jeez.
So yeah, that's news. That actually looks really cool.
Yeah, certainly does.
maybe we look for a dry run of that, I suppose. Okay, new releases for next week, which will be April 21st to April 28th. There is the 3DS Lego City Undercover. The Chase Begins. They were talking about that on Nintendo Direct today and showed some, I guess, crappy looking footage.
Yeah, it looked pretty brutal.
3DS doesn't seem to have that much power when it comes to Lego games.
Something about Lego games seems to really...
Well, the problem is that the Vita totally has the power to run an actual Lego game, but the Vita gets the portable versions, so they get the DS and like 3DS versions of the Lego games, which is too bad because if they were at the actual Lego games, I'd be buying those up and playing them on my Vita all the time because Lego games are excellent.
Yeah, they're pretty well received, to be honest with you.
I really like the Lego games. Like Lego Batman was really fun. Lego Star Wars is fantastic. I've played a little bit of Lego Lord of the Rings, but I'm mostly saving that for co-op with my brother. Lego Harry Potter's I've touched a little bit, and Lego Indiana Jones was all right. But it's Lego Star Wars and Lego Batman that were good ones. There was Lego Batman 2 DC Superheroes or something like that came out. That was like an open world RPG quest stuff, apparently.
Something like that.
Which is kind of what Lego City Undercover is. So I guess they're going that direction. The Legos talk in these ones as well, which they did in old ones. Yeah, Lego games are good.
They're voiced over, or
yeah. Well, the like Lego Star Wars and Indiana Jones and stuff just had like
captions.
No, not even captions.
Really?
They just had like the Legos moving and gesturing and stuff to like explain the story.
No, I thought they
and
would.
So the stories were told in actually really funny ways. So for fans of the properties that they were imitating, and I actually don't know if it does it in Lord of the Rings or not, but yeah, they were really cool. Kumar, if you've never played a Lego game before, I have the Lego Star Wars Complete Saga for PS3. So I can lend that to you if you would like. And you can try that out. Because that I still feel like Lego Star Wars is the best one.
Is it worth playing?
Yeah, absolutely. It may look like a kid's game, but it's actually fantastic. There you go. Audio Hill will play with you. There you go. Also coming out next week is Dead Island Riptide, which I will not be falling into that trap again. Yes, Riccio is excited for that game. Don't Starve has its official launch date, although it's been playable and buyable for months now.
Yeah.
That game is all right if you're a fan of Minecraft-y, Terraria-y, survival type games with crafting and stuff. Maybe go get that. Also coming out is Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, which is the re-release of Dragon's Dogma with additional content. Kind of Capcom style, where it's like, hey, you have to buy this whole game again because we're not making the expansion downloadable.
This is a little bit of a bitch move on their part.
Well, at least this Dark Arisen version is like bargain price, so it's $30 or $40.
Yeah.
So if you missed the original game, you can at least maybe go get this, which I think a lot of people missed the original game. I didn't play it. Devin, did you play it?
No.
Kumar, you probably didn't play it.
Nope.
Riccio played it, so
I was not.
He's the only one getting screwed out of money here.
Woo.
Also launching on the PlayStation Network and PlayStation Vita is Thomas Was Alone, which I still didn't look up what that game is, but it's going to be on launch sale for PlayStation Plus members. So I should probably find out what that is before the probably late PlayStation update next week. The Star Trek game is coming out on... Pardon?
Have they released patch notes for the next PS3 update?
Oh, yeah, they just went live with it an entire day late, right before we started this podcast.
Okay.
So...
Anything worthwhile, or is it just more of the same?
There's Dragon Fantasy Book 1, which just came out, and that's like an old school Final Fantasy, like turn-based strategy type game, which I'm actually looking forward to playing. It's on launch sale for PlayStation Plus members as well, for $7.99 instead of $10. That's going to be the same deal with Thomas Was Alone, and then Zombie Tycoon 2 will actually be free for PlayStation Plus members, or $10 for regular members.
How was that? Was that a fun game?
Zombie Tycoon 1 was all right. It was kind of like a real-time strategy, like a simplified real-time strategy. So you had 3 zombie squads that you could kind of equip with stuff that you found. I guess it was kind of closer to Dawn of War, I think I said last week. So you're more focused on having the 3 squads of zombies with each their individual equipment, and then they were each mapped to square, triangle, and circle.
Okay.
So that's how you would direct each group around to do stuff. And then you could it was really short. It was a mini originally. It was okay. I think Zombie Tycoon 2 is going to be more substantial than that, and it looks kind of cool. So, and we're going to get it for free, Kumar, so whatever.
Okay.
I would say spend your time on it as of now, because the first Zombie Tycoon was all right.
Yeah,
at least warranting of the $3 I paid for it. So, the Star Trek games come out on Xbox, PS3, and PC.
Do you guys care about those at all?
Maybe
Not really.
It's
to be
a
honest
movie
with you.
game, so it's probably not amazing, but you never know.
Well, the Iron Man games were decent. And Dan's dying.
Oh, geez, I think Riccio got me sick again.
That's not a good thing.
Take
Riccio.
that.
Oh God, what has he done?
Something terrible.
The new I like the new Star Trek movie.
I do too. I'm actually
So
super excited
if this is okay in the least, and maybe I can get it for cheap, maybe I'll play it.
Yeah.
But you never know with movie games. So, also coming out is Poker Night at the Inventory 2. I don't know if any of you guys played the first Poker Night.
I did not, so I have no experience with those whatsoever.
All it was just a simple Texas Hold'em poker game. But you were playing against Tycho from Penny Arcade, Max from Sam and Max, Strong Bad, and who was the last character? The Heavy from TF2. So they were just your opponents while you're playing Texas Hold'em, and they had lines and interaction with each other. This new one has GLaDOS is the dealer.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool.
Who else is it? Sam from Sam and Max is in it.
All right.
Ash from Evil Dead.
Okay. Looks like it's got Brock Sampson.
Yes, I was going to leave him for last,
Oh,
but I can't remember the other person.
Brock Sampson.
Yeah, from Venture Brothers. And who's the last person? I'm going to click on this and find out. Oh, Claptrap from Borderlands.
That's awesome.
So that'll be pretty cool. Steam actually has a deal running right now where if you pre-order Poker Night at the Inventory 2, you'll get the original Poker Night. So, and it's only a $5 game also.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was more than that.
No. So right now you could get Poker Night 1 and 2 for $5.
Cool.
So, yeah. I've had Poker Night 1 for a while, but didn't try it until today. So, there's all kinds of unlocks and stuff. I believe they released a trailer today, actually, where you will get, if you are playing on the PC, because the first Poker Night at the Inventory only came out on PC. Poker Night at the Inventory 2 is coming out on Xbox and PlayStation as well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't know if it's coming out right away because this site doesn't say if it's launching on the consoles yet. But no matter which platform you play on, you will get Borderlands 2 costume unlocks. So you can get like a Brock Sampson head for the Gunzerker.
Oh,
and stuff
really?
like
I
that.
might
Yeah.
actually just buy it. For that
Just for that?
specific reason alone. Yeah.
And if you are on PC, you will also get TF2 unlocks. If you're on PlayStation, you will get themes for each of the characters and stuff. And if you are on Xbox, you'll get avatar items.
Cool.
So that's kind of neat. Also coming out is Monaco, this awesome 4-player cooperative
Which I believe
heist
we have.
game. Yes, gifted to us as always by
MCP.
He gave each of us a copy, so expect a dry run of that the day it comes out with all of us. I think you've got to bring your other laptop for that.
Yes.
Yes, or I suppose we could do it online.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much the important stuff that's coming out. The week after that is thoroughly more exciting.
Wow.
With stuff like Soul Sacrifice for the PlayStation Vita and Deadly Premonition Director's Cut. Yeah, I was expecting a little woo out of Riccio. Also, Fez for the PC and Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. And for people who care, Zombie Tycoon 2 and Xenoclash 2. So next week, last week of April will be way better than next week. All right, and last part of the podcast. Closing in on the end here. It's a shorter one this week.
Yes, it is.
Mostly because none of us are distracted by gameplay. And
didn't have
Riccio
Grand
is
Theft Auto
sick, so
going on
clearly the downfall of this podcast is off of it. I don't know if you heard me.
No, I don't think he did.
Okay, so let's read some of the comments on our last podcast episode. Like a Hardcore says first with a happy face. And Riccio wishes him a happy birthday because it was his birthday on Friday, I think. The 12th, Riccio says. Okay.
Happy belated, good sir.
Yes.
Yes, happy belated.
There's an FTL episode where we wish you a happy birthday that Riccio got sick and hasn't put out yet. So,
sorry.
Blame
It would have
him.
been nice if that went out, but yeah, Riccio sucks. So.
I'm going to butcher this name, but it's Akamaru Kixace? Akamaru Kixace? Says, yay, Riccio and friends, you are bar none the best channel in existence.
Thank you very much.
So I guess he doesn't care about us.
No, he said Riccio and friends.
Yeah, but he put and friends in brackets.
We are and friends.
Oh.
So we're gonna go back and edit out reading his comment because no, we're not. We're not gonna do that.
I will.
Thank you kindly for your good words.
Next is what do they call the lottery in Canada? We have Powerball and Mega Millions in the States, and he's too lazy to use Google. That is from Dry Ltd. So I guess Dry Limited. We have Lotto 649.
Yeah,
Encore.
and Encore, and
What else?
I'm shooting police officers.
And then we have, I mean, we've got the series of all the charitable lotteries that happen as well. So Sick Kids Lottery, the
Oh yeah, there's
Chio
there's the
lottery
Chio
as well.
and yeah, all that kind of stuff. Those aren't your like standard, just
Yeah,
like
those
go
aren't
buy a
national
ticket
level.
laundry.
Laundry, though?
Go buy a lottery ticket. Those are like once in a while, and their tickets cost a lot more money.
Yeah, they tend to.
I think the main
Audio
one
Hill
we
is
just got,
actually
right?
listing them
649
all off in the
and,
chat here.
and
So
Encore.
if
649, Super 7, Lotto Max, Chio, you win a house and stuff. $100 per ticket.
yeah, he's got it.
Chio and house and
The
stuff.
whole idea behind Chio is that they sell less tickets, but for more, so you have more of a chance to win. So maybe one day I'll buy a ticket for that, but probably not.
And house and stuff.
Because I like winning stuff and not having to work for it. So, he also asks, real question, how big would the jackpot have to be before you play the lottery? I actually, while I worked
55 million.
at the law firm, I would play the lottery every week with my coworkers.
Oh, really?
So I didn't actually pay attention to
You were
what
just
the
throwing
jackpot
money
was.
at
I would
them?
just check the numbers. And we've won little amounts before, but we usually just put that back into buying tickets. So
Dangerous.
yeah.
For myself, I just can't justify a lot of buying, or I can't justify a lottery at that scale. Part of why is because I know the reality of things is that my chances of becoming prime minister are higher than the chances of me winning that lottery.
Yep.
So
Maybe you should get on that
I play the local
campaigning and
level
stuff.
Yeah, seriously.
I play a lot of the other stuff. So yeah, you pay more for the tickets, but at the end of the day, I've won something every single time, and it's always been more than what I put in. So
Kumar for prime
I get
minister.
my return is significantly higher when I do that.
This is playing the Chio lottery and stuff.
This is like the Chio, Sick Kids, and then whatever the other ones are.
The
I put them
premium
all.
lotteries.
The premiums.
Yeah, pretty much. It's
So you're saying next time one of those rolls around, I should probably buy a ticket for it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get it's never going to guarantee you a win, but at the end of the day, I look at it and I say one of two things is going to happen. I'm either going to put my money into, for example, like when I donate to the food bank or when I do all that stuff, or I'm going to donate to some charitable cause like this, right? If they're telling me that I've got a chance to win some cool shit doing so, then great. But when you look at Lotto 649 or Encore, you're just putting money into a big pot that's just going to go to a single person anyways. So even if
And the
don't
company is
win-
trying to make money off of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so when it comes to all these charitable sort of lotteries, even if I don't win, I don't really care because the money is going towards something that I know will help someone else anyways.
Yeah, I think all those
So-
big ones are like basically non-profit stuff.
Yeah,
they
they
get
are.
all
Yeah,
they're
their
not.
all the houses and stuff are like donations
They're all
from
donated, yeah.
From companies and
Yeah. So you pay significantly more. I mean, the tickets are $100 and I'll buy 3 at a time kind of thing. But
oof.
I mean, you're
big
paying
spender.
for something that is probably going towards a much better cause. So I'd rather do that. So for me, it doesn't really matter if they're telling me that I've got a chance to win a prize, great, but I don't really care. So long as it's going towards something meaningful, sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Next up, Ransom Purvis says, is there a way I could ever talk to Tonyal? And then that makes no sense. And then he posted another comment that says, fucking iPad, I hate typing on it. So there you go. He doesn't like iPads.
Now we know.
Is that what we gathered?
Yep. Okay, so then we have another... What is Riccio saying? He's just laughing.
Doing something dumb.
Okay, next up we have a couple of questions here from Alchemy Reborn, once again. She says, hey guys, what game series do you feel is lacking... What do you feel is lacking story-wise or gameplay-wise? To me, Assassin's Creed is not making any process story-wise. Assassin's Creed 3's ending was not a surprise at all to me, and I wish they did more with the native aspect. Being a Native American myself, I can assume we didn't just hunt and jump from tree to tree. I mean, they may as well have just put John Marston in the game and taught him how to climb trees. Assassin's Creed 3 was a giant fucking failure, and you shouldn't waste your time.
I'm actually inclined to agree with her because there's a massive spiritual element of what they could have used within the game.
Well, I feel like they actually go into that with that DLC stuff, which Riccio has and has paid for, but hasn't played any of yet. So,
see, the core game is so bad that I wouldn't even touch the DLC. So.
Really?
Yeah. To be fair, if I had that DLC, I probably wouldn't spend my time playing it because. Mm-hmm. Also, I can't because Devin has my copy and I have no desire to get it back immediately.
It's, you know where it is?
Yeah.
It's legitimately sitting on top of my Xbox 360. Like, I look at that game case every time I look at my 360. And I think...
You're probably torturing yourself doing so. Because you paid for that shit.
No, Dan.
No, it's my copy.
Oh, okay.
He has had it since the day I beat the game. And I haven't had any desire to have it back.
Asked for it back.
Yeah.
Part of you just doesn't want it.
Yeah, it's too bad because every other Assassin's Creed game is fantastic.
What, aside from Assassin's Creed, do you think fits this bill?
I don't know.
I think a lot of the shooters are up there. I mean...
Well, of course they could... Yeah, okay, I'm going to say Homefront then. No, I don't know.
Wait, didn't Homefront have a good story?
No.
No?
The problem is that they talked it up and promoted it so much that everyone thought it was going to be a fantastic story, but then it was like 2.5 hours long.
Okay.
Yeah, that game you could beat in easy one sitting, no problem.
Jeez.
It's really a short game. The other thing, though, is that I can't knock shooter stories too much because it's like a weird guilty pleasure of mine just to sit and play a shooter campaign all the way through, not even touch the multiplayer, just... I don't know what it is. I got Resistance for Vita real cheap a long time ago, and I just started into it now, and I don't know what I'm doing with my life, but...
It's this moment where you pick it up
it's okay, I guess.
And you think, why?
There's a lot of yelling, and you're playing a firefighter who for some reason has proper military over-the-radio
combat training
stuff and combat training and stuff, so I don't...
I thought all firefighters had combat training.
My beef is primarily probably with shooters. Everything from Crysis to Call of Duty to some of the other things that I played. Like
certain Call of Duty stuff is really good, but for the most part, I guess I really like shooter stuff. So I actually really like Call of Duty stories. I mostly buy those games to play the campaign, and Black Ops 2 is the best that a Call of Duty game story has been in a long time.
Like, think about how many Call of Duties have come before it that didn't deliver the same way that did.
But I feel like the original Black Ops story was also all right.
I think that they're always so underdeveloped. Yeah.
The Modern Warfares were okay. They were a little crazy and over the top, but they tie it all together in a good way at the end of 3. Actually,
speaking of shooters, you know what story could have done with a little bit more care?
What's
the
that?
Gears of War story.
Yeah.
The entirety of the Gears story could have been done so much better.
There's some weird stuff in the Gears story. That's true.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like they did a good job establishing this awesome, like this crazy, wicked universe, and then they just kind of let it sit there and do nothing.
Go stagnant.
Could have
Yeah.
been something fantastic.
Could've
Well,
been.
and Gears of War 3 wrapped it up in such a way that they can't
build.
Yeah, it
make
just
games
done.
that take place after it.
Yeah, it's done. It's over with. So
Yeah.
that universe was born and then died. Nothing happened in between. Except for that you fought some lava monsters and shit.
That's true. Gears of War. Well, again, I can't knock shooters as much because I just like playing those games.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, they're like mindless story stuff, but that's not why I'm playing them. I don't know. I don't
What
know
you
what the
saw-
fuck
anything you want
Riccio
to
is playing
contribute?
right now either, or
Anything that
why he's
stands out in your
starting
mind?
this. What's that?
I was just saying, anything that stands out in Sompy's mind at all?
What was your initial question?
Just
What game
Alchemy
series
asked.
do you feel is lacking story-wise or gameplay-wise? I guess we haven't addressed gameplay-wise.
Most of the time, it's honestly would have to be first-person shooters. I find that a lot of it is just they go for a lot of the big, like with the Call of Duty franchise, they go with the shock and awe
Yeah.
style.
Not so much in the Black Ops series. That's mostly Modern Warfare.
Okay, the Modern Warfare series is shock and awe. Like, you know, they have
Yo,
you
big shit is happening.
Yeah.
Missiles,
fucking explosions,
helicopters, planes, nukes.
everything's going off. There's
Just
just
a bunch of buzzwords.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's honestly what it is.
I just
It's
described to you the entire plot of Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3.
it's like somebody
Juggernaut suits. There.
yeah, it is legitimately like somebody
Summed it all up.
has taken an action
And
movie
anything back
script
and
and
stuff.
just thrown it together and taken all the best
Again, I don't
pieces.
find that bad.
No, I don't find it bad either, but as far as like story goes, it's
Just
a
for the
little
sake of
lack.
answering the question, I think that's where there's probably room for them to try to improve. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Dan. They don't
And
really-
the other thing is, she asked about gameplay wise as well, and I couldn't think of anything because I
No.
don't play games that don't have solid gameplay
Yeah,
in my mind. So,
Exactly. If it doesn't have solid gameplay, I'm not playing it.
You know, I even
Simple as
really
that.
liked the Force Unleashed series, which some would say is lacking in story and gameplay.
I didn't mind the first one. The second one was just atrocious in my
I really
mind.
liked the Force Unleashed too.
I just
Jeez.
didn't do it for me at all.
Then again, if it was not Star Wars, I probably would have never touched that game.
Oh, you would have hated the shit out of it, trust me.
No, I wouldn't even have touched it. Anyways,
Sam, I'm with you. I've never really, if there's a game that I didn't enjoy within the first maybe hour of playing it, I can't. I'm not going to sit there and waste my time.
Exactly. Like your time is more valuable than playing something that pisses you off.
Mind you, in my defense, actually in others' defense as well, I did sit through devastatingly difficult Vanquish
That is true.
attempts.
did you finish
So,
that yet?
I mean, no, I still haven't beat Challenge 6, and I'm starting to believe that I'm just not going to. I'm starting to believe that it's that thing that I won't accomplish, at least not for the next little while. But
Not within your
it's
lifetime.
also something that infuriates me going through it.
Force Unleashed 2 and Guacamelee are that game to me because they've
Are
got, you know, I will eventually complete those games on hard mode achievements, and that's not that bad. You know, that's just takes time because the game is harder. But there's that one achievement in both those games. The Guacamelee one being the like chain all the 6 special moves, and there's a Force Unleashed one for completing all the challenges. Except the first challenge is like fighting game training mode where you have to do specific combos,
Oh yeah.
and I can't do that for the life of me. And that's all that's stopping me from 100%ing those games. Is those like specific, just weird challenge stuff.
Well, for the people that are on my PSN list,
Yeah.
if you go to my progression through and my trophy completion for Vanquish, I'm sitting there and I will forever probably be stuck there at 91%. The only trophy I'm missing is the complete challenge one.
I'm
That's
guessing
gonna
by
be
the amount of
platinum,
percentage that it's a
100%.
gold, right?
No, I think it's a bronze, to be honest with you.
For 9%?
Wow.
Did you just say
which is
90?
weird because when I looked through it, because I went and I actually...
Oh, I guess because it
'cause
counts
I-
the platinum trophy in that too.
Oh yeah, I
well,
guess that's true.
Well, I was going to say, I initially thought that it was just, like, whatever percentage was remaining for the completion of it would only be whatever the trophy was, but
Yeah.
again, it's not it. So the bronze trophy is like 2%, and then the platinum is the rest of it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think I'm forever destined to never beat that.
Something that you just
I know that
accepted.
feeling. I have had
So
one achievement left in Oblivion for the longest time, and it's because that's the one where you have to make a save and make one choice and then make another choice. and the save I made to go back and make the choice later got corrupted. And so I will never have that final achievement. I hate that. All those make me die a little bit inside. Anyways, Alchemy Reborn has another question.
Oh, yeah?
What is our favorite older multiplayer game? I loved Diddy Kong Racing for the N64. I also loved Mario Party for the N64. Stealing stars and coins from my cousins was fun, and the reactions you could get from them was funny, until they took my coins and stars and I would just rage. Old multiplayer games?
For myself, GoldenEye, Perfect Dark.
Yep. GoldenEye, Perfect Dark.
I never played Perfect Dark.
Super Mario World. I also like there was a couple of the Kirby games, the Kirby franchises that had power multiplayers. Really good. It's really, really good.
Actually, a really, really vivid memory of mine was the original Smash Brothers.
Yes, original
where
Smash Bros.
You sit down with like family or friends or whoever, and shit would just get so real. And it was a whole lot of fun every
You
single
guys have
time.
played a
So
lot older games than I have. I missed a lot of the N64 era stuff. I was mostly...
I can go further back, and I can talk about Super Nintendo stuff that I played
can't.
for hours on end, but I know that that's probably not going to resonate with a whole lot of people here.
I can't talk about that. I started in late N64 and then moved to GameCube pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So-
See, I started late SNES and early N64.
So like if you were going to ask me what the best multiplayer games that I played with would be probably Super Smash Bros. Melee, Nightfire, 007 Nightfire.
Yep, that was good.
Mario Kart Double Dash, and Rogue Squadron 3 Rebel Strike had some multiplayer stuff in it. That's what I got.
Another one that that some of the older listeners might actually remember is Blades of Steel on the original Nintendo. And actually, I think it was
I don't
Blades
even
of
know what
Steel.
that is.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys will appreciate this when I explain it. But correct me if I'm wrong. For anyone who's actually listening and knows what I'm talking about, it was either Blades of Steel or it was just called ice hockey, one or the other. And what it was it was 3-on-3, it was 3-on-3, and you would pick. Actually, no, it wasn't. Sorry, it was 5-on-5. And you would pick from a skinny, fat, and average-sized player.
Yeah.
And so the fat guys were tanks. Nobody could knock them down. The mid guys were good all around, and then the skinny guys could skate like you wouldn't believe. So there was actually a certain level of strategy behind why you picked certain players. And this game was so simplistic, but it was so much fun. So if anybody remembers that, please do comment, because I'd love to hear what everyone else's experiences were with that game. Man, that shit was fun.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
The game was fantastic, Dan. I can guarantee you, even if you played today, you'd just laugh because the animations are hilarious and gameplay gets so frantic.
I have a weird thing where I can't go and play older games.
This would be accessible.
Sometimes...
No, I can't. I'll go and play like Lego Racers and stuff again.
Yep.
And even like the old Rogue Squadrons, I'm like, I can't. It's hard to play this. Yeah. It was difficult.
A lot of I find that the majority of the NES and SNES era games are just games that scale or not scale, sorry, but they age so much better than the 3D era.
Yeah.
So if you try to go back now and play an N64 game, you'll either get a headache or you'll just get tired of it really quick. But if you go back and you play Super Mario World, or you go back and you play any of the like Metroid games on the SNES and stuff like that, like it's so much easier to play those now.
They don't look as
They
terrible.
don't kill you. Right?
Yeah.
They don't kill your eyes, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
Wait, did we even answer her question? Shit,
Yeah,
what were
I think we did.
Yeah, we've been talking. This entire conversation is an answer to her question.
All right.
Right,
All right.
multiplayer,
What do we got
multiplayer
with
There's that's it for comments on the podcast, but there is one question to @Riccio. That is Riccio's Twitter account. We have @UnityGaming as well, which you should follow and tweet questions to if you can't be here for the podcast.
Someone commented a while back. The Riccio's Twitter thing is Te Riccio, so it's TEH Riccio.
Yeah,
not
because that's
Riccio.
how cool people on the internet spell the.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but a lot of. Did he just yell again?
Yeah, of course
Okay.
he did.
I wasn't sure. what
And now
that
he's in a
was.
coughing fit because he yelled.
Yep.
And he's sick.
Yep.
We do actually have one question from @AudioHill, which he's in the chat, so he could have just asked it here. I don't know why I tweeted it, but there you have it, I guess. He says, thoughts on Battlefield 4? He's thinking about pre-ordering it.
I'm actually going to pre-order that.
I don't care.
I
Dan's
that Battlefield games,
good.
I think I can't remember if I brought this up last time or not, but Battlefield games just seem to be the same now. And as much as I want to see Battlefield 4 do something different, and as much as I want to see it be that next awesome shooter,
Yeah.
personally, I'm a skeptic, I guess, and I just don't think it will be. So I'm waiting to see how it's going to go. I'm not going to pre-order it. I'm not interested, quite honestly. So I'm just waiting to see how it's going to be received, what they're going to do different, if they're going to do anything different, and then how it's going to actually be able to run on PCs.
Well, the reason why I'm interested in it myself is because of it. I think it's going to be a more refined Battlefield experience. At least that's what I'm hoping for, as well as
Unless it has a bad company campaign, I don't care.
Yeah. All right.
Again, I play.
Fair enough.
I play shooter games for the campaigns mostly, so
Yeah.
the Battlefield campaign is just generic as fuck.
Yeah, it truly is. But
They better keep
they've
all
gotten
the
better
goddamn
at their scripting and stuff
Also,
like that.
for whatever reason, I don't get that gameplay. It's just there's so much like sway on the gun. I can't seem to ever hit anything. I don't know what it is.
I think it's just you have to get used to compensating for it.
I don't like it.
Yeah, fair enough.
I
Fair enough.
got other games I can play.
Fair enough. All right.
I never felt that way with like Bad Company or anything like that. So I don't know what the like little tweaks they made for Battlefield 3 and now I guess 4, but
I don't know. Battlefield 3 felt real smooth. Felt really good when I played it.
nah.
Nah.
I just don't want to launch anything through a goddamn browser.
Yeah,
They better not do that shit
that's a pain in the ass.
again. They better not do that shit again.
I don't think
they'll do it
will.
again. I think it works.
I hate it.
I don't know
can't
about you
stand
guys.
it. I don't understand why they want you to open up another application to run their application. It's so backwards. But
Somebody
it is what it is.
Somebody thinks it's a good idea.
So I guess unless anyone in the live chat right now, any of you 14 great people, have any questions for us, we'll start to bring this thing to a close.
Closed. I'm Somppi.
Too late.
And myself and Dan will continue the rest of it.
Yeah.
No. All right, I'm out.
Devin is out of here.
No, I'm not out yet. I guess we'll say thank you guys for tuning in, unless we've got anything else that needs to be said.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff to be said. Red Dead Apple asks Devin, why you so gorgeous?
Thank you, because I am
The Slayer asks if we are getting
a Rift,
Rift?
probably an Oculus Rift.
Oh, no.
No. Oh, I do
Is
have
that what
to.
he's talking about?
Yeah, most likely it's Oculus Rift.
Audio Hill says, do you think people will be able to will be put out of being able to play Battlefield with the new engine, Frostbite 3?
I don't think
Sorry, say
so.
that again. Ask that question again.
Do you think people will be put out of being able to play Battlefield with the new engine, Frostbite 3?
So in terms of like the hardware requirements, or
Maybe.
I guess, but I don't think that.
Battlefield 3 was such a big deal that people went out and that was one of the games that people would upgrade their PCs for.
yeah,
Just like StarCraft 2 was. We saw that with StarCraft 2, Kumar, because we were working at Future Shop at the time.
Yeah.
That people would come in and specifically say, like, I would like a PC that will play StarCraft 2 well. And they would come in and they would buy a totally new computer just for that. Same thing was happening with Battlefield. So I assume maybe the same thing would happen with Battlefield 4. It might be a different story this time because maybe people just did that for Battlefield 3 and it's only 2 years now.
Yeah, but I don't think it's such a shift.
Or maybe it'll
that
be 3 years by the time it
That's
comes out.
going
But
to
that's
be
still
that
like
crazy.
the last like Battlefield game that people consider part of the main series was Battlefield 2, which was way long time ago. So
Yo.
yeah, I don't know.
And yeah, I totally called it was Oculus Rift.
Yeah, well, okay. Apparently, Audio Hill has an awesome other question,
All right, throw it to us, Audio Hill.
and then we'll close this up. Oh God, hurry up! Hurry up! Anyways,
That's all I can sing.
I
without it
question Riccio's decision to start playing a JRPG during this podcast.
Yeah.
I question Riccio's decision to start playing a JRPG. Period.
Thank you, Kumar. Are you a brother with me on this front where JRPGs?
JRPGs are pretty good, you guys.
They're cool in the sense that I can appreciate the fact that RPGs as a whole were born from JRPGs.
Yes.
But JRPGs themselves, in terms of the way that they've been modernized and just the game that they are, is something that I just have such a hard time getting into and enjoying.
Yeah, I just can't get into a game where somebody tells me, for instance, the latest Final Fantasy tells me it gets good 20 hours in. I can't.
Yeah.
Like, for me, that just seems like a.
Not all of them are like that, but
No,
it's the commitment of time and actually forget even time. It's just the commitment period that goes into playing a JRPG that I just find difficult to make.
I agree
you
with
say that, but I am jealous of people that can just get a JRPG
and be done for
every
a year.
couple of months.
Yeah.
Or something, and have just that one game, because that is a huge money saver.
Oh, it certainly is.
Yeah.
Like, my roommate is recently went back and looked at his Tales of Vesperia game.
Yeah.
He has like over 290 hours clocked into this game.
Yeah, off of that initial purchase, no DLC, nothing like that.
No DLC, nothing like that, and 290 hours. I think that's a pretty good money proposition for $60 for an Xbox game to get 290 hours out of it. It's not quite as good as my 367 for Binding of Isaac for $3.
For free, I gave that to you guys.
Oh yeah, that's right, free. No, I bought Wrath of the Lamb.
Okay, well,
$250.
Anyways,
I don't know, I can get the enjoyment out of every other game that I have, so I understand your argument, but
Yeah.
I guess the idea of that is becoming obsolete with stuff like PlayStation Plus, because you get your new game to play every couple weeks already for free for the $50 you put out a while ago. So that's not a bad way to do it either. I played Persona 4 Golden on the Vita for a long time. I don't even know what my hours are on that, and I still kind of want to go back and do New Game Plus at some point. But the fact that I can have that much entertainment for $40 is fantastic. I'm very pleased with that. Same with me and Riccio are playing Valkyria Chronicles as one of the Let's Plays for our channel right now. And yeah, it's
good.
We are going to get so much time out of that and so much video content for you people to watch. So
it's worthwhile.
Yeah. So also, that cost me $40 because it's not available digitally anywhere, and I had to go track down a copy. So yeah, I'm going to get my money's worth out of that too. Audio Hill has another question here where he says, do you think people will have a hard transition between the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 since this is the first time changing consoles that have multiplayer? Since there may be no account transfers, many people could lose their PSN IDs or gamer tags and lose things like DLC.
Actually, touching on that, that's something that I think would be an incredibly terrible decision for them to do.
They can't do that.
I don't think they can justify that in any which way because they'll lose people.
The Wii is different because it's Nintendo and it's about games, Richie, okay? You are out of this podcast. Shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Kumar, please resume your point.
Yes.
Yeah, so I understand that it's a big change and that, they've already spoken about how people are a little bit up in arms about the fact that they may not be able to play their old PS3 games. But so touching on that, first and foremost, you're not buying a PS4 to play PS3 games. So just to debunk that shouldn't be an issue. The big issue here is that they have to maintain some sort of ability for there to be a transition from your existing PS3 profile to a PS4. And I think that's as easy as what they did with the Vita.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's trophies and everything on the Vita right now, and you can view, so if you're playing on your Vita, you can view something that I'm playing on my PS3, right?
Yep.
And vice versa. So it's not like it's going to be anything different. If Sony came out or if
you should hope.
came out.
You should hope.
Yeah, absolutely. And if either of them comes out and says, by the way, I think Rich, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Ricio's got 75,000, 77,000, I think, gamer score.
Yes. He's in the 70s. I don't know exactly where.
And Dan, you're at 50,000, I think.
I just hit 60.
Yeah, and there are people, like I have people on my list who have over 100,000 gamer score. Like,
oh wow, Riccio just tabbed over to his achievements. He is almost at 80,000.
Oh wow, holy crap!
He's maybe 500 G away from 80,000.
I have.
That's a huge indicator.
Oh wow, what a time to lose connection to Kumar.
And he's back.
Got a phone call.
Okay, cool.
It's a huge indication of the fact that people invest a lot of time into the games that they play.
The thing is, I don't think it's going to be that much of an issue with Xbox is they've had this infrastructure and
Pre-built.
for a while.
stuff that already works when you're just signing into other consoles. It carries over all your stuff. Some games have like automatic cloud saves, like Battle Block Theater. I've been able to go back and forth between my Xbox and Ricio's Xbox without having to do any save management or anything and just playing those games. I have to imagine that it will be the same way
Well,
With the-
when
with
you
the
get the
newest
new
business-wise,
Xbox.
business-wise, I can't imagine they're going to do that. Like if they go out and they say, hey, guess what? Like if Sony comes out or Microsoft comes out and says we're no longer supporting trophies or we're no longer supporting gamer score.
Like last
that-
generation
that's-
stuff.
Yeah.
That'd
Yeah,
be
like
nuts.
that's a huge mistake on their end.
Yeah, there would be a lot of uproar about that, most certainly.
Yeah. And they'll lose people.
For sure,
Big
for
time.
sure they will.
Or people just won't buy the new systems. They'll stick
Yeah,
with the old
and they'll
stuff.
just keep playing the old one. Yeah.
There's
And
this
they'll
console
go back to the
generation's
library.
been going on for so long that there's so much back catalog for all these consoles. Plus, with everything like tons of stuff being available digitally now, some people could just stick with the old consoles for
And-
a long time.
Yeah, and be happy with it. I believe if you want to scroll up a little bit on the chat real quick, Dan, I'll read off Audio Hill's question.
That's
And-
what we were just talking
That
about.
was it? Oh, yeah. Okay, no mind then. Ooh, derp.
Crazy person.
Derp. Yeah. All right, well,
Yeah, that's. They can't do something like that. Is our answer to that question?
they
That
most
would-
certainly
that would
will
be
have
nuts.
to figure out a way to deal with that.
He asked
issue.
another quick question here. Do you think players will have to pay for PlayStation 4 online?
I don't think so.
No.
No, they won't. Sony will not dig themselves into that hole because they started out as a free online.
There's a reason PS Plus exists.
Yeah, and so they will not. They will not.
PlayStation Plus is a
that
better
way.
use of $50 a year than Xbox Live
Oh, most certainly.
ever has been.
Most certainly.
Well,
One
no,
thing I
I
will
shouldn't
say,
say ever has been. I should say right now, because what you used to pay for on Xbox Live used to be so far and above better than the service you were getting on the PlayStation Network for free.
Yeah.
You know, even the PlayStation Network is still now lacking the stuff like Party Chat and basic Xbox stuff like that. But they are going to fix that with the PlayStation 4, and they're going to make that the focal point of their hardware. So
Yeah. The other thing I will say is that specifically regarding PS Plus and Xbox Live, there's a reason that I don't pay for Xbox Live, and it's because I'm paying for my ISP right now. So I'm not going to sit here and pay twice for something that I should just be able to enjoy because I've paid for a title. I should be able to play multiplayer. This isn't some argument about entitlement and whatnot, but the same product. So if you take a game that's cross-platform released, guess what? I don't have to pay anything on a yearly basis for me to enjoy the multiplayer on that if I buy it for my PC.
yeah,
So I'm not going to buy it for the 360 and then have to pay them for it. So the second Sony starts doing that, is this of course. Sorry guys, phone call.
yeah.
The second that Sony starts doing that is the second that I'm no longer going to pay them anything either.
Yeah.
So I
The,
mean,
the thing is, I would have argued against you with that point a few years ago
yeah,
because stuff like PlayStation Plus didn't exist. The
Yeah.
player base for a lot of PlayStation games simply wasn't there. The catalog of PlayStation 3 games simply wasn't there. And the experience you were getting on Xbox Live was just so much more than the PlayStation Network. But now that we've gone on so long and stuff like the PlayStation Network is pretty much caught up to Xbox Live in everything but Party Chat, which Xbox people take for granted because it hasn't always been there. I can't justify paying for Xbox Live again.
Yeah.
Because it's a ton of money, and what I get exclusive access to sales and demos, but I can get those demos on the PlayStation 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really.
You know, maybe if Sony can just get their act together on their updates every week and not do them
You
a
know
day
what,
late while people wait, maybe they would be on top
really
of stuff.
interesting, though,
What's that?
is what's going to happen. So when the PS4 comes out, they're talking about all this crazy, streaming right away and sharing everything right out of the gate. And I think we've had a brief discussion about this before, but if they start charging for an additional subscription model, what's going to happen when people realize that their internet usage is going up too? So now they're paying for PS Plus, they're paying for some subscription for a particular service, and in addition to that, they're paying higher rates for their ISP.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how they're going to juggle the fact that if you're sitting here, so think about, use Riccio for example, right? When the PS4 comes out, chances are Riccio is going to get the PS4 and he's going to start sharing everything and doing all these things. How is that going to affect his bandwidth usage?
Personally, I don't think Riccio cares because he has an unlimited plan
And
with a
that's-
great Canadian provider named TechSavvy.
Yep.
They are indeed a great provider. But for the people who may not be as living in as high of a luxury sort of state with regards to their
Yeah,
internet
people with
use.
like $30 a month internet plans.
Yeah, if they've got limited internet plans, what are they supposed to do, right? Are they just going to burn through their bandwidth, or what's going to happen? So,
well, I
can't
think
imagine-
the other thing is I think that those people maybe aren't the target audience for the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they're not going to go. They're the people who will be able to last for a long while on the PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360 back catalogs.
Yeah.
That is true. That's very true.
You know, and when they are ready to make the leap to PlayStation 4, maybe the internet prices will be more reasonable. You never know.
Mind you, I mean, even for myself, if I buy a PS4, I'm not going to be someone who's, or at least I don't think I'll be someone who's going to get as involved into that stuff. So I don't think it would even really affect me.
It sounds awesome in theory, but in practice, I don't know how often I'll do it. I mean, Riccio already has a semi-popular streaming channel that we can all come and join in on whenever we feel like it.
Exactly.
So that and the Sony stuff is going to be through Ustream. I don't know about that. For some reason, I've never liked Ustream. Nintendo does all their stuff on Ustream. I wonder what...
Yeah, weird. Well, maybe they have a corporate contract with Ustream.
No, but I wonder why Sony and Nintendo are now both using Ustream. That's interesting.
I don't know. Does Microsoft use Twitch?
They are going to have a Twitch app at some point on the
Then
Xbox
that's why
360.
Sony's using Ustream.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that Microsoft is going to have a similar stuff to like the Sony ecosystem, but using Twitch instead. I'm sure that's the way it'll be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I guess that's pretty much it for this podcast. We get to end on a...
Sobering note.
That's a good word, Sompy.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm actually quite proud of that.
So I'll try and remember how to do the ending spiel here.
Skin had a question if you didn't read it.
What?
Skin had a question.
Skin had a question? Oh. Do you think piracy would go down if all devs were required to release a demo of their game? I have no idea.
I don't think it would, to be honest with you, because people will usually... So I touched on it earlier, but there is, in fact, a...
Riccio says yes.
Riccio says yes.
Yeah.
I don't think it would, and part of why is because regardless of whether it's a demo or not, there will always be that false sense of entitlement where people think if they can't afford something, they're just allowed to go pirate it, and that doesn't change whether there's a demo or whether there isn't a demo.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it...
Yeah, I worked with a guy for a long
Zombie said
time.
this a while back. Zombie said, if you make the I guess the means or the channel with which I can go through to pay for something and buy it, if you make that easier than pirating something, I'll pay for it. And I think that was, Zombie, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what you said.
Yep.
And that's something that I think is probably most accurate relative to piracy. It has nothing to do with whether people are charging you this or charging you that. It's how easy is it to get it. And that's why you'll see things like the App Store consistently succeeding. That's why you'll see things like iTunes consistently selling. It's just so easy.
The App Store is a weird thing, though, because there's still a huge population that just believes that, like, yeah, I get all these apps for free because I jailbroke my phone, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And they just don't even think about it as stealing or piracy or anything like that.
Yeah, they just think that
it's a smaller number there than it is in the PC community where...
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
We have something like Steam, right? We've got this phenomenal platform that lets you pay for titles and lets you take advantage of a library of a particular developer very, very easily.
We have several platforms like Steam.
Yeah, Origin as well. I mean, there's a ton of them, right? So
there's
but at the same time,
Playfire, the
still
one that
doesn't
Green Man
seem-
Gaming uses. There's Desura for indie stuff. Yeah.
But see, it still doesn't really deter people very much, right? So, I mean, it's one of these things where I don't think a demo necessarily dictates whether or not someone will pay for something or not. They could just use the demo as deciding whether they want to download a pirated game.
That's true.
Yeah.
But who knows? I mean, it'd be nice to see it stop a little bit. But only time will tell, I suppose.
There are people, and I used to work with one of them. There are people that just believe that all digital information should be free. So they will just pirate stuff out of
Spite.
that belief, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not they have the money to pay for it, it doesn't matter because they believe it should be free. So
I think it's ridiculous, but...
yeah, well. Someone in the chat, Merrick64, points out that Green Man's thing is called Capsule. I could have sworn I was on their site the other day and they were advertising something called Playfire.
It's their social thing.
Oh, it's their social thing, not their game thing. Okay, there you go.
Two.
What?
They have two.
Oh, they have two. Okay.
Fuckers.
So yeah, we'll start wrapping this up now then. Riccio, MCP would like you to play the Dread Out demo, whatever that is. He will try, MCP. There you go. So make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube if you are listening to this on iTunes, and make sure to subscribe to us on iTunes if you're listening to this on YouTube. It helps us pop up in new and exciting, or whatever the iTunes thing is called. Yes, Skinned, you're right. Riccio should shut up. He doesn't even have a microphone.
He said that in all caps too.
Yeah, he needed to be heard. Yeah, so make sure to subscribe and like us and whatever other stuff. We do Let's Plays, we do dry runs, all that jazz. Riccio seems to be engrossed with El Shaddai here, so maybe you'll see something more of that on the YouTube channel. Riccio, I suppose in case you're not paying attention to recent events, Riccio has been sick lately, so we've missed out on 4 days of video. But we're back to normal now. We will continue as normal until someone else gets devastatingly sick, although probably still be able to continue as normal unless Riccio gets sick again. So,
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Because apparently I'm next in line.
And you haven't been sick yet. This thing is spreading like crazy. So,
Man, everybody is sick. Like, everybody.
yeah, even still people that are over it still have a little bit of a cough. So it is still spreading. Someone up there is playing Plague Inc. right now and doing really well at it.
God, I knew I shouldn't have played so much of that.
Someone got ideas.
Exactly.
But yeah, thanks for listening. I've been Dan.
I've been Sompy.
And I've been Kumar.
Riccio's been over there.
There you go.
Yeah, he coughed and said I'm Riccio.
He said something.
All right, well, thanks for listening. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Take care.